Welcome to the CCL Championship, everybody. Today's going to be a good one. His name is Jordan Brenner. My name is Jonathan Rifkin. Behind the camera is Sean McKinnon. We're so delighted to bring you CCL Championship Baseball right here on the CCL Broadcasting Network. Today is the 2 seed versus the 4 seed. The Conejo Oaks upsetting the Santa Barbara Foresters. The Orange County Riptide hauling back in the 8th inning to beat the Healdsburg Prune Packers. Both these teams did the impossible yesterday in two different ways. Let's talk about the Riptide here first, Jordan. They were down 9-2 yesterday going into the 8th inning. They put up 9 runs. They batted around before the first out was made in that 8th inning. How did they do it? And now coming off a season that they ended with 2 consecutive walk-offs and now an incredible offensive showing yesterday, how much momentum do they have coming into the championship today?
Well, they have all the momentum in the world. They did the impossible yesterday, just like you mentioned. Yesterday, the 9-run 8th inning to come all the way back. Spectacular stuff.
Absolutely.
But before that, they had 2 straight walk-off home runs in consecutive days coming into the playoffs. So if yesterday wasn't enough momentum, well, they have a lot more to build off of as well.
On the Conejo Oaks side, they put up all 3 of their runs yesterday in the 3-2 victory in the first inning. They held the Foresters to just 2 runs in a combined effort between Dylan Francis, Jackson Simonsgard, and Angus Denton. That was the most intense game up for the Oaks this season, and they're riding high after clinching the CCL playoffs 2 days ago, downing Goliath yesterday. And now they face the reigning champions, the Orange County Riptide, today.
Yeah, it was an emotional game yesterday. The Oaks, the 3-run first inning, they held down the fort just long enough. Both sides were getting into it. Fans were into it. It was an exciting ball game. But you have to wonder how much juice is left in the Conejo Oaks. They've had to win 2 games, not 1 game to get here. They had to win on Friday against Healdsburg to just make it to the playoffs.
Absolutely.
Then yesterday to upset the #1 summer collegiate team, arguably, in the country. Spectacular stuff. I wonder what they have today.
The bullpen for the Riptide was exhausted yesterday. Their closer, Ryan Sublett, who pitched 1 inning to close out the game yesterday, he will be on the mound today. What can we expect from him?
Well, Ryan Sublett is a very, very talented arm. He has some of the best stuff in the CCL. There's no doubt about it. However, he hasn't gone more than 4 innings this entire season. He came late. He was a late addition to the roster. He actually pitched yesterday as well. I wonder how many innings can he go, but you feel confident from the Riptide side that when he's out there, he's going to be effective.
On the Oaks side of things, they have Jerry Ramirez from Glendale City College starting. Jerry had a rough start to the season, but the progression that he's made with his fastball, with his location, with his curveball have been significant, and that earned him a start in the CCL championship game. What can we expect from Jerry today?
Well, you're right. There are 2 different Jerry Ramirez's that we've seen this summer. At the beginning of the summer, he was a kid who, didn't have his command all the time. His stuff wasn't sharp all the time. He hung a lot of curveballs, but the last 2 weeks or so, it's been unbelievable to watch him. His presence on the mound is really just different than it was at the beginning of the season. The curveball's sharp. The fastball is hitting the outside and inside corners. If that Jerry shows up, the Oaks, they got to feel confident.
Well, it's just about game time here at Sparky Anderson Field in Thousand Oaks, California. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, it's CCL Championship Baseball right here on the CCL Broadcasting Networks, the Oaks and the Riptide, the final game of the season. It all comes down to today, and it's right here. We'll be right back. CCL Championship Baseball is about to begin. Getting a bit of a late start here as the Oaks and the Riptide duke it out here for king of the CCL. The Riptide won last year. The Oaks have never won a CCL championship in their 12 years of existence. Welcome back, everybody. To my right, Jordan Brenner. To my left, our producer, Sean McKinnon. My name is Jonathan Rifkin. Delighted to be with you for an incredible game between the Oaks and the Riptide. Both these teams had an improbable path to today's game, and we'll see how they both fare in the final game of the CCL season. Let's give you the starters now. First, for the Oaks, they are the number 4 seed, so they are the away team, even though they are hosting the playoffs. Leading off and playing right field from Ole Miss, Michael Spears. Brandon Lewis behind him, playing third base from Irvine. Jordan McFarland in the 3-hole, playing first base from the University of Arkansas. Chase Cockrell cleaning up and DHing from Ole Miss. Elijah Alexander playing center field from the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. He's in the 5th spot. Sam Shaken batting behind him in center field from Valparaiso. Andrew Lucas occupies the 7th spot. Out in left field from CSUN, Zach Kamiko catching from UNLV is in the 8th spot. And Will Pickett's will round out the Oaks order. He's going to Cal State Bakersfield. Sorry about the audio technical difficulty. We appreciate you bearing with us. So all you've missed is Michael Spears striking out and Brandon Lewis, who just reached second on an error out in left field by Thomas Delgadillo. 1 out, runner on second, and now the dangerous Jordan McFarland from the University of Arkansas stepping in. The 0-1 pitch bounces into the dirt from Ryan Sublett to even the count. Sublett, a phenomenal pitcher, as I was saying when we
found out that the audio actually wasn't working. He had a 9-1 record his senior season of high school and a 2.05 ERA from Lamont Township High School in Lamont, Illinois. And he was really good his freshman season at Texas Tech. The 1-1 drilled down the first base line, but out of play for strike 2. With Tech this past season, his freshman campaign, his ERA was just under 3. He actually struggled to begin the season, but really picked it up towards the end against TCU and Duke. He had 6 punch-outs in both those games, respectively, to end his first campaign with the Red Raiders. Jordan McFarland in the batter's box, his second championship game in a month, takes a strike. No, a ball low and away at 91. That evens the count. He played in the College World Series about a month and a couple of weeks ago for the University of Arkansas. Now here he is in the CCL Championship with the Conejo Oaks. We asked him before the game, how does it feel to participate in 2 huge games? He said, at the end of the day, they feel the same to me. All I want is the big moment. The 2-2 pitch, he lunges for it and fouls it back, and we'll do it again. He was really good. He only played half a season with the Oaks because he played in the College World Series. He put up a .357 batting average. He had a home run that was a grand slam. 16 RBIs, 18 strikeouts, and 3 walks. And he will be a very talented bat for the University of Arkansas in the upcoming season. The 2-2 from Sublet. Foul tipped back, and we'll do it again.
And Sublet's going to come at you with 91 on a fastball, but it has cut action to the outer half. And then he'll throw a 78-mile-an-hour curveball, and that's why you see McFarland having so much trouble. It's tough to identify these pitches.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Sublet checks Lewis. That ball slapped past the glove of Gomez in the left field. Rounding third, coming home is Lewis. The throw to the plate is off the bag, and Brandon Lewis scores the first run here of the CCL Championship. An RBI knock puts the Oaks on the board. It's 1-0 here in the first inning.
Jordan McFarland kept fighting with 2 strikes. What was impressive about that at-bat was not the actual hit, which just barely got by the glove of Paul Gomez. What was impressive was that he kept fighting off very tough pitches. He finally got enough one-on-one and was rewarded with an RBI base hit to left.
To my right, Jordan Brenner. He's my co-broadcaster. To my left, our incredible producer, Sean McKinnon. My name is Jonathan Rifkin. Happy to be on hand with you for the championship. McFarland's on first. Chase Cockrell stepping in the first pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Chase Cockrell, Golden Spikes semifinalist. That's the award handed out to the #1 player in college baseball. He batted .324 as the SEC DH of the year for Ole Miss. He digs back in here, the 0-1 offering. Another swing and a miss for strike 2. Cockrell yesterday, for all intents and purposes, was the reason the Oaks won. He had a 2 RBI double in the first inning, and those 2 RBIs eventually led to the Oaks' victory.
Yeah, it was the difference in the ballgame.
That at .356 for the Oaks this past season. Sublet toes the rubber. He rocks and he fires the 0-2. Fastball low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Chase Cockrell. Jordan McFarland on first. He has some speed. 3 stolen bases this season on 3 attempts. He doesn't look very fast, but he can dig deep in the dirt. Multi-tool athlete. Takes a step and a half lead off of first. Sublet hoping for the double play. He rocks and he fires the 1-2. Slider. Caught Cockrell swinging for strike number 3. Chase off balance right there. 2 outs now on 2 punch-outs in the inning.
Center fielder from UT Rio Grande, number 19, Elijah Alexander.
Now it's Elijah Alexander's turn. A local product. Played at Camarillo High School. Just down the road from here, he played at Ventura College. He batted over .420 for the Pirates. He was offered as a football player. He was offered as a baseball player. He stuck with baseball, and he is really good at UTRGV. McFarland's on the run. The throw is in time, and that was a bad play for the Oaks on the base paths. The 1-6 putout ends the inning. Alexander will be up in the top of the second for the first bat for the Oaks. But first, 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, and nobody left on base. Top of the first is done. The Oaks up 1-0. We'll be back with the Riptide starting 9 and the Oaks Field after this on the CCL Broadcasting Network. Back here for the bottom of the first inning, it's the Riptide's turn under head coach Jason Smith, and what a job he has done in his first tenure as the skipper for this team. He had some big shoes to fill. Tiger Peterson, the older brother of Jock Peterson, was the head coach last season, and he brought this team to a championship. Jason Smith, in his first campaign as manager, has done the same exact thing. Hats off to him with what he's done this season. Aaron Simpson will lead off from Ball State. Steve Curry from Georgia Southern behind him, and Micah Prees from Point Loma Nazarene is in the 3 spot. We'll give you the rest of the order here in just a moment. Jerry Ramirez from Glendale City College on the mound for the Oaks. The first delivery, a fastball inside for ball 1. Cleaning up for the Riptide and playing first base from Georgia Southern is Mason McWhorter. Austin Soika in the 5th spot from Oklahoma Wesleyan. From Stony Brook batting 7th, Brandon Alamo, the 1-0 offer. High fastball, medium distance, right center field. Spears and Alexander converge, and Alexander makes the catch for out number 1. The bottom 3 batters, Thomas Delgadillo from Fullerton Junior College, Jake Ortega from Cal State Bakersfield, and Paul Gomez from the University of Missouri. Caps off the Riptide lineup. The field for the Oaks, Michael Spears in right, Elijah Alexander in center, Andrew Lucas in left, Jordan McFarland at first, Bo Pickett's at second, Sam Shaken at short, Brandon Lewis at third, behind the dish, Zach Kamenko, and on the mound, Jerry Ramirez. He'll be tasked with facing Steve Curry, who was really good yesterday in the game against the Prune Packers. Curveball in there for strike 1. Give you his stats here in just a moment, but for Jerry Ramirez on this season, the progression has been there as he rocks and he fires the 0-1. Another curveball, this one bouncing in the dirt. 2 starts on the regular season, 14 appearances. He had a 4.45 ERA, 22 strikeouts to only 5 walks. The kick and the toss. Fastball drilled to center field, and that drops for Steve Curry for a single. Steve Curry batted .317 on the year for the Riptide. He had 13 RBIs, 1 big homer, and a bunch of extra base hits, 14 to be exact. And he will be a key today on the base pass. He's fast. He stole 4 bases in 5 tries this season. We'll see if they test the Oaks here with 1 out on the board. Micah Prees now digging in from Point Loma Nazarene. Lefty on righty matchup here yesterday as he swings and fouls one off for strike 1. In the game against the Healdsburg Prune Packers, he went 0 for 2, but he walked twice. Actually, he actually went 1 for 3. He walked twice, but in the 8th inning where they batted around, he had an RBI single in his second at-bat in that 8th inning. On the season, Prees batted .339 in 70 at-bats. Ramirez toes the rubber, kicks and fires the 0-1. A fastball upstairs to even the count.
Micah Prees has far fewer at-bats than many of the starters in the Riptide lineup, but he's made his presence felt both defensively and offensively. A consistent bat, but also one of the best arms in the CCL.
1 ball and 1 strike Ramirez offers. Up the middle, does it drop? No. Will Pickett's under that balloon pop-up on the shallow right field grass, and that's out number 2. Steve Curry retreats back to first base. 2 big questions for these teams today. The first question, can the Riptide hang with the Oaks bullpen-wise? Because the bullpen for the Riptide was exhausted yesterday. Ryan Sublett, he hasn't gone more than 4 innings this entire season, and he's starting today. On the Oaks side of things, can their offense stay with the hot Riptide? They ended the season with 2 walk-offs and an incredible comeback yesterday late in the game to punch their CCL championship ticket. First pitch, a strike on the outside corner to Mason McWhorter. He had a walk-off on Thursday in the second to last regular season game. He was 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts, and then on a 1-2 count took one deep in Fullerton to give his team the win. Fastball up the middle, that drops for a single. Curry's at second. Elijah Alexander quickly charges it, throws it in, and that's a 2-out base knock for Mason McWhorter, puts runners on first and second.
And that's what the Riptide are going to do to you. They're not going to hit a whole lot of home runs, even though they have that type of power. But the way they get on teams is string together 2-out base hits. And we saw it yesterday in that 9-run 8th inning that they put together.
And the other man who hit a walk-off on Friday to cap off the Riptide season, Austin Soika from Oklahoma Wesleyan, digs in. He was the most productive Riptide batter yesterday in the win. He went 2 for 3. He reached base all 4 times he bat. Also reached on an error. He scored twice and had an RBI. Big at-bat here. 1-0 to score. 2 away. Bottom of the first. Ramirez deals. Curveball on the outside corner for strike 1. Both these teams hoping for a championship. The Riptide, they have one under their belt in their history. That was last season. The Oaks in their 12 years have participated in 6 championships but have never won. The 0-1, a high flyer down the left field line, but that goes far into the desert. In foul territory, no balls and 2 strikes.
Austin Soika so dangerous at the plate. Anything that is over the plate, he can knock anywhere in the ballpark. So with 2 strikes and no balls in the count, Jerry should look to, mess around with a few pitches and try and get him to fish.
That 328 on the season with the Riptide. Second on a team in RBIs with 22. 0-2 pitch. Look for that curveball from Jerry. And now time is called by the batter. Brandon Alamo on deck if he gets that far. Crowd beginning to fill in here, but the Oak side very well represented. Not a seat unfilled. To our left, the Riptide fans still coming in here, but they're pretty well represented as well. No balls, 2 strikes. Ramirez rocks and fires. Curveball, good foul tip by Austin Soika, and that keeps him alive in the at-bat.
Yeah, Jerry has to be happy with how the curveball's moving here early. It's just a matter of finishing out at-bats.
The Oaks struck first. An RBI single by Jordan McFarland. Riptide trying to replicate a run here and tie up the ball game. Ramirez, though, trying to get out of the inning. He offers. Curveball in the dirt. That's a good one to bury, but I think Soika was looking for it, and that's ball 1.
Jerry's afraid to go with that high fastball, which he usually complements with that curveball. But Soika's such a quick bat. If you miss that fastball by even a little bit, it could be 3-0. Or 3-1, excuse me.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Ramirez takes a breath, and he gets the sign from Cam & Co. behind the dish. From the belt, the 1-2. Another curveball gets away from Cam & Co. Over to second goes McWhorter. To third, Steve Curry. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and now the tying run 90 feet away from scoring in the form of Steve Curry. Burying pitchers are smart, especially when you're ahead in a count, but when you bury a pitch and it gets away from your catcher, that's when things can get a little dicey.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Got to be careful here to Soika. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to put him on and face Brandon Alamo. But obviously Ramirez still in good position to get Soika out.
The 2-2 in. Fastball up the middle. Pickett's backhands. Pickett's dives. He gets up and he can't corral the throw. That is an RBI infield single by Austin Soika. And we're all tied here in the CCL Championship. 1 apiece. McWhorter on third. Soika on first. Curry came in to score.
Will Pickett's won't get credit for a web gem there because he couldn't make it out. But that diving stop at second base preserved this game as a tie game, because if that ball gets through, not only would Curry score, but also Mason McWhorter would have rounded third and come on in as well.
That was a big at-bat, a very hard-hit ball. Good corral by Will Pickett's, but he couldn't get up in time. Now it's Brandon Alamo's turn. The first pitch for the DH is low and away for ball 1. Call Stony Brook his home in the fall. In the regular season for regular collegiate play, if you will. Alamo takes a fastball outside for ball 2. Almost lifted the bat, but home-plate umpire said he didn't go around and there's no appeal. Alamo batted .294 this past season. Third on the team with 14 RBIs. 2 homers as well. Lifts one, left center field. Alexander is there, and he makes the catch for out number 3. The Riptide respond. 3 hits resulting in a run. No errors. They strand a pair on base. We're through 1 inning here from George Sparky Anderson Field on the campus of Cal Lutheran University. We're knotted 1-1 in the CCL Championship. We'll be right back on the CCL Broadcasting Network. Elijah Alexander, Sam Shakin, Andrew Lucas, the 3-2 up here for the Oaks. Top of the second inning. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you're enjoying your Sunday afternoon. No matter how you're watching or where you're watching, Jordan Brenner and I appreciate you making us a part of your Sunday afternoon plans. CCL play about to wrap up, but first, a few more innings of the season to go for a champion to be crowned. Alexander digs in the first pitch from Sublet outside for ball one. Elijah Alexander. His bat has been hot towards the latter half of this season. .319 was his average. Couple of home runs, 16 RBIs, rips one. One hop in the glove of McWhorter. What a play by the first baseman down the first base line. And he'll win the foot race to the base for out number one. Mason McWhorter yesterday at first base made some spectacular plays. And the field here for the Riptide is really, really good. Thomas Del Godillo out and left. One of the best outfielders in the CCL by far and away. And McWhorter right there, he showed his glove. A phenomenal corner fielder as well. Now it's Oaks veteran Sam Shakin's turn from Valparaiso. .259 average. First pitch. Hack and a miss for strike one. Shakin, one of the few Oaks returners from last season's team. Their season, got cut short thanks to the Healdsburg Poon Packers in the semis. Poon Packers were down yesterday by the Riptide. The 0-1. Sky down the right field line. Is it playable? No. McWhorter gives it a look, but it goes into no man's land, and that's strike two. But how about this? The Riptide have no returners from last season's championship team. 2 years ago when the Oaks made the championship, they have two players still on the team currently active. Jackson Simonsgard, who pitched yesterday, and Joe Torres, who's sitting on the bench right now.
It's unbelievable, and it's a testament to the coaching staff for the Orange County Riptide, installing a belief in their players.
The 0-2, another foul ball into the parking lot, and we'll do it again here for Shakin. Jason Smith filled the shoes of Tiger Peterson, who took a job in the North Woods League. Tiger's also one of the coaches at Hawaii Pacific University, but Smith has done quite a job with this team. The 0-2, low and away for ball one here to Shakin, and he's had quite a season. He actually got tossed here at Sparky Anderson Field 3 weeks ago in an early game between the Oaks and the Riptide. The Oaks went on to win that one. The 1-2 in. Low and away, ball two. And the Oaks actually were up 11-1 in that game. In the ninth inning, the Riptide put up six big runs. They end up losing 11-7. That was the final matchup between these two teams. But it's been about all season long. They split the season series 2 games apiece. Both teams took 1 game on the road and 1 game at home. The 2-2, a fastball outside, just misses, and that's ball 3.
Unfortunately for Caneo, so far, the home plate umpire has not been giving that outer half to right-handed hitters.
And I'm glad the Riptide actually just commented on our YouTube chat. They have told us that Chase Sabby and Paul Gomez are returners. We were told before the game by some of their staff that there are no returners. Payoff pitch upstairs. That's a walk, and over to first base goes Shakin. So, again, thank you so much for everybody who interacts with us. We love to hear what you have to say, regardless of who you are. And I appreciate the Orange County Riptide for being resilient and correcting us because, again, these are important. This is important information. We were mistold, and I'm glad that now the right information is out there. Nonetheless, there's a walk for Sam Shakin. That's 1 out, 1 on, and Andrew Lucas stepping in. Lucas, the youngest player in the CCL. Half-hearted swing. He went around, though, for strike one. He was the Ventura County High School Player of the Year this past season. Has yet to play a collegiate game for CSUN, but his first at-bat in a wood bat game this summer, he hit a grand slam. That was his inauguration into collegiate play. The 0-1 runner goes, it bounces off the face mask of Ortega. Digging for third is Shakin. The throw is off the bag, and that is a stolen base and a wild pitch on the advancement. The Oaks, with 1 out, have a go-ahead run 90 feet away in the form of Sam Shakin.
That's a heads-up play from Sam Shakin. Only 1 out in the inning. Taking third base there is critical because now the Oaks can take the lead with an out. One ball, one strike. Andrew Lucas was a highly touted player, got a lot of offers
all over the country decide to go to CSUN, and he was represented in the showcase earlier. Rips one up the middle, and it goes through for a single. Sam Shakin comes in and scores, and Andrew Lucas gives the Oaks the lead. It's 2-1 here in the second inning.
And here's the thing about Andrew Lucas. Everybody knows about his potential and what he can become. However, he has struggled mightily in CCL league games. In non-league games, he's one of the best players on the Oaks. He mashes the ball all over the yard. The last week or so, though, he's looked better in CCL games, and it paid off in a big way here in the championship.
Zach Kamenko's turn now, part of a trio of spectacular Oaks catchers, though Drew Sims, the normal starter, has a concussion. Kamenko gets the nod, the first pitch, a fastball upstairs for ball one.
And Kamenko earned his start today with not his offense yesterday, but surprised everybody by throwing out two Santa Barbara Foresters trying to steal a base. Kamenko has struggled with that all season long, but was fantastic defensively yesterday.
One ball, no strikes. The offering is foul. Tips back into the glove of Ortega to even the count. Kamenko on the season for the Oaks, batted .244. 7 RBIs. He walked 8 times and struck out 8 times. He's very good at making contact, and that's a necessity, especially if you need to win by small ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. The offering. High fastball, hacked at and missed for strike 2. That was a beautiful pitch right there from Sublet. And at 89 miles an hour, Jordan, a high fastball, the velocity seems a lot quicker. It just whizzes right by you.
It jumps on you when the heater is elevated because it has that backspin, and it's almost as if from the hitter's perspective, the ball is rising.
Sublet trying to earn his 3rd punch out of the game. He rocks and fires. Runner goes, high fastball, cut on a miss. The throw is in time, and that's a strikeout. Throw out double play for the Riptide. And we're through the top of the second inning. What a play, Ortega to Curry to gun down Lucas. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. Nobody left on base. We're through an inning and a half here from George Sparky Anderson Field in the CCL championship game. The Oaks up 2-1. 7, 8, 9 hitters due up when we come back for the Riptide on the CCL Broadcasting Network.
Riptide, left fielder number 32.
Very dangerous bat. Fullerton Junior College product. Thomas Delgadillo will lead things off. He led the Riptide with a .463 batting average this season. He had 16 RBIs. He had 2 home runs. And he will try to start a rally to put his team back up in this ball game. 2-1 the score. The first pitch from Ramirez. A curveball waved at and missed for strike 1. That's the key here for today. For Jerry Ramirez on the mound for the Oaks. That curveball has to be working.
It does have to be working, and he has to throw the fastball for a strike also.
The 0-1, a low fastball, misses to even the count. Delgadillo, I think, has made 2 of the most spectacular catches that we've seen on the season. That was when he was in right field back 3 weeks ago when the Oaks played the Riptide at Fullerton College. The 1-1 shows bunt, gets it down. It's down the line. It's fair. Nobody's going to get to that. Brandon Lewis is letting it roll, but it's going to stay in fair territory, and that was a beautiful way to get on base for Thomas Delgadillo. Nobody out, 1 on here in the bottom of the second inning.
Taking a page out of the book of Will Pickett's. Will Pickett's leads the Oaks in bump base hits, and Delgadillo laid one down to perfection right there.
The fourth base knock of the day, the second infield single for the Riptide. And now Jake Ortega will step in. He'll be playing with Oaks second baseman at Cal State Bakersfield in the fall. But right now, they're arch rivals. Batted 120 on the season in limited action. The first pitch, low and away for ball one. 2 runs, 2 hits for the Oaks. 1 run, 4 hits, an error for the Riptide. The 1-0 from Ramirez. Cracked over to short, shaken. Taps the second base bag. The whip over the first, and that's in time. Sam Shaken gets barreled into, and he completes an unassisted 6-3 double play. His defense is world-renowned here in the CCL, and he displays it right there.
And Sam Shaken, not known to be the most athletic shortstop. He's known to be short-handed. But right there, what an athletic play from Shaken, who deserves credit. An unbelievable turn by himself.
Two away now. Paul Gomez's turn now. The Zoo product steps in here. The first pitch, low and away for ball one. Paul Gomez in the 9th spot, batted .259 this past season as Ramirez offers the 1-0, a fastball at the knees. A good frame by Kamiko saves that ball, and that's strike one. 13 RBIs, no home runs. Struck out 19 times and walked 13 times. Good ratio there. The 1-1, though. He fouls off the glove of Kamiko and back against the screen for strike two. The Caneo Oaks were an improbable team to make the championship. The Riptide, I think, were the favorite in their matchup against the Healdsburg Prune Packers. The Packers almost proved that idea, or that assumption wrong, if you will. The 1-2. Half-hearted swing. Did he go? No, says the home plate umpire. The appeal, no, he did not, and that's ball two. 2 balls and 2 strikes. But the Riptide put all doubt aside when they came back late in that ball game in an incredible 8th inning. The 2-2, high fastball, hacked at a missed strike 3. Ramirez gets his first punch out of the game. We'll talk more about the Riptide on the other side of the break. No runs, a hit, no errors. Nobody left on base. 2 innings have come and gone here from George Sparky Anderson Field. The Oaks up 2-1. We'll be right back on the CCL Broadcasting Network. I didn't see that part. I just saw the last thing. Oh, yeah, you're right. No, you're right. You should add that in. But don't talk about how I wouldn't say that Luke Bandy was wishing the best. Just say he had a fan personal thing with wishing the best. Yeah. Oh, Pickett's in the 9-hole lead things off here. They're up 2-1. Welcome back, everybody. Jordan Brenner to my right. My name is Jonathan Rifkin. Happy to be along for the ride with you. The CCL Championship game continues on here in the 3rd inning. Ryan Sublett back on the mound for the Riptide. Will Pickett's in the batter's box. And the first offering here. Fastball up and in for ball one. Will Pickett's heads to Cal State Bakersfield in the fall. His father is the head coach at Pierce Junior College. Batted at .235 this past season, the 1-0. Fastball upstairs. Ball two. 2 runs, 2 hits for the Oaks, 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error for the Riptide. That 1 error allowed Brandon Lewis to score back in the first, and that was an under run for Ryan Sublett. The 2-0 popped up, shallow left side of the field. Calling for it is Soika out of third base, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Our friends at the Riptide have informed us that the Riptide are without their 2 best batters, Luke Bandy and Mason Hibbler. Bandy had a family emergency as well as Hibbler, and we want to wish them both the best. Or family tragedy for Bandy and a family emergency for Mason Hibbler. We really want to wish them all the best, even though everybody's on different teams in the CCL. They're all one big family, and at the end of the day, everybody's in this together. The first pitch to Spears, a strike at the knees. 0-1 the count. He's 0-for-1 with a strikeout. And this is a development league. These guys, yes, they're here to win games, but they're more importantly here to get better. And everybody wants to see each other improve and succeed. The 0-1, a beautiful curveball in the outside corner for strike 2. So again, we wish Luke Bandy, we wish Mason Hibbler the best. And the Riptide, they're well represented here today. And it's going to be a fight to the finish, I can guarantee you that. Sublett offers the 0-2. Fastball over the jumping glove at second of Curry into right center field. Spears digging for second base. That ball's all the way to the corner. He's rounding second, going to third, and he will stand on third base with the 1-out triple. Michael Spears is 90 feet away as an insurance run for the Conejo Oaks.
Michael Spears' second triple in 2 days. Had one in the semifinals yesterday. A perfectly placed line drive to right center field that somehow got all the way to the wall. Spears, one of the best base runners on the Oaks, was hustling from the start, and the Oaks in prime position to extend their lead.
He had the 1 lone hit off of Hunter Bro yesterday for the Oaks. It was a triple down the right field line. That one split the gap between right and center, went to the corner. Simpson had trouble with it, and that allowed him. And there's going to be an intentional walk. Brandon Lewis will not get an at-bat here. The front runner for CCL MVP. The Oaks fans don't like it. They're booing the decision, but I think that's a smart decision by the Riptide.
That's the first intentional walk we've seen all season. I'm pretty sure, John.
No, they intentionally, the SoCal Cash intentionally walked Jordan McFarland when the Oaks played them in a close game about a month ago. This is the first time we've seen it at Sparky Anderson Field, however. Still, a smart move by Coach Smith at the double play situation. That could get out of the inning. And now the CCL offensive leader's on first. McFarland cracks one into the glove of Gomez at short. The throw will not come, and nonetheless, an RBI single for Jordan McFarland. He's 2 for 2 on the day with 2 RBIs. Gives the Oaks a 3-1 lead over to second, Brandon Lewis. That was a good snag by Gomez, but he was too deep on the left side of the field to make the play.
Jordan McFarland, not his best swing of the bat in his life, but certainly a productive one right there. I'm sure Coach Solis will be content if the Riptide walk Lewis to get to McFarland all day long, because Jordan can swing the bat well, too.
Now the problem they have to face is Chase Cockrell. He's 0-for-1 with a strikeout, though. The first pitch, a fastball, just missing outside. Ball 1.
And here's a chance for the Oaks to really blow this game wide open right now. Chase Cockrell playing his best baseball of the season, arguably, hitting the ball all over the yard. With one swing of the bat, this could be, well, a wide open contest.
1-0 pitch. Beautiful buried changeup, foul tipped back into the glove of Ortega. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ole Miss and Texas Tech, 2 storied baseball programs. Chase Cockrell from Ole Miss. He was a Golden Spike semifinalist this past season. Ryan Sublett just capped off his freshman season for Texas Tech. The 1-1. Fastball in the dirt. Good block by Ortega. Keeps the runner at second and at first. 2 balls and a strike to Chase Cockrell.
And you wonder if Sublett is starting to feel a little bit of fatigue on the mound. Pitched yesterday. Hasn't gone more than 4 innings this entire summer. Really grinding right now against the Oaks.
The Red Raider comes set from the belt. He rocks and fires the 2-1. A fastball cracked off the plate. And that evens the count here to Chase Cockrell. Chase, an Oaks returner, was not expected after last year where he batted sub-300 to do what he did at Ole Miss, but what he did was something special. Batted .324, led the team in slugging percentage. He had 9 RBIs, consistently on base. And now he steps back in the 2-2, low and away. Ball 3. Three balls and 2 strikes. First and second. Sublette comes set at the belt and delivers the payoff pitch. Cockrell slaps that one foul, and we'll do it again.
Anyone in this house taking this game right now, say yeah!
Crowd really getting into it right now with the Orange County superfan here. Payoff pitch once again. Foul tipped back. Cockrell staying alive. On the 91-mile-an-hour fastball. How about the Oaks reception on their side? They gave Cockrell a round of applause just for fouling off a ball. It seems like we have a crowd off right here. To the left, the Oaks fans are cheering when the minimal of things happen on the Oaks side. But on the right side of us, the Riptide fans are all pumped up. They're clapping, they're cheering. And right now we have a good old-fashioned fan-off at Sparky Anderson Field. Payoff pitch 3.0. Fastball fouled back once again. And again, the Oaks fans erupt, trying to echo the Riptide noise.
The Riptide and the Oaks trading punches right now, it seems. Chase Cockrell, what an at-bat so far. 2 high-powered players right here with Ryan Sublette and Chase Cockrell. This is fun.
This is a really wonderful environment to be in. Runners on first and second. 3-1 the score. Payoff pitch. Misses low and outside, and Cockrell draws a 7-pitch walk. The bases are all juiced up for the Oaks. And it's Elijah Alexander's turn. Lefty on righty matchup here.
You know, Chase Cockrell has hit home runs all over the place all season long. But I'm going to argue that was his best at-bat of the season. The ability to fight off pitches from a nasty pitcher in Ryan Sublette and then take the walk shows how much he's grown at the plate and how patient he has become as a hitter.
Meeting on the mound now. Lewis, who was intentionally walked, is at third. McFarland, who had an RBI singles at second. Cockrell, who walked, is at first. Long meeting on the mound. And we'll see here how it changes things, if it changes things for the Riptide. These meetings tend to just be motivation for these pitchers. These coaches aren't saying anything these pitchers don't know, but it's just a refreshing voice to hear, especially when you're in a jam. Ryan Sublette right now in a jam. He had a sub-2 ERA this season for the Riptide, and right now he's trying to keep the Oaks offense at bay. Bases loaded, 1 out, 1 around in the inning, and Elijah Alexander, who's 0 for 1, steps in here. Sublette toes the rubber. He rocks and fires the first pitch right back into his glove. He doubles off McFarland, but the throw is off the bag. Even though the throw is off the bag, what a play by Ryan Sublette to have the resilience to snipe that ball out of the air for out number 2. He couldn't get the double play, but nonetheless, he has to be sitting comfortable now after making that out.
Well, not too comfortable. Still a bases loaded 2-out jam. Ryan Sublette there had the play at second base, but it was a much more difficult one than the play that he had at third base. Brandon Lewis was completely caught off guard. He was halfway to home plate off of the line drive. He could have walked it over to third base himself and doubled off Lewis.
First pitch is shaken, a low changeup, beautiful frame by Ortega. That had no business being a strike, but that is some major league framing right there. And that's strike number 1 at the bottom of the zone. No balls and a strike. The delivery in the dirt. This one, no frame as it got away from Ortega. 1 ball and a strike. The Oaks trying to find a way to plate a couple more runs here. The Riptide have an explosive offense. And the last thing they want to do is still give them some momentum. The 1-1. Fastball low and away. Shaken takes for ball 2. Fastball at 90. Sublette throws between 88 and 91 on the gun here at Sparky Anderson. His curveball and changeups in the high to mid 70s. The Red Raider comes set, takes a breath from the belt and offers the 2-1. Shaken, swings right through that fastball to even the count. Beautiful pitch right there from Ryan Sublett. Shaken, one of the Oaks veterans. He's been a leader on this team, on the field and off the field. He steps in a big moment. The 2-2 offering. Slider outside, ball 3. The Riptide fans, they're clapping. The Oaks fans on the edge of their seats. A walk gives the Oaks a run. A strikeout or an out gets Sublett out of the jam. Here we go. Second consecutive batter facing a 3-2 count. Sublett takes a breath, rocks and fires the payoff pitch, and it's fouled right back to us. And we'll do it again. Very similar at bat to that of Chase Cockrell, who walked 2 batters ago.
Sam Shaken doing the same thing Chase Cockrell did, fighting off tough pitches here. He can be patient right here and take a ball on an RBI walk. That would be just as effective as a hit right here.
3 runs, 4 hits for the Oaks. 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error for the Riptide. Sublett has some more work to do here. The payoff pitch 2.0 fired in. Jam Shaken over to second. Curry's under and he makes the catch for out number 3. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. The Oaks strand the bases loaded. They take a 3-1 lead though. Bottom of third after this. You're watching Championship Baseball on the CCL Broadcasting Network. We'll be right back. Aaron Simpson leads things off here in a big inning for the Riptide. They trail 3-1. Jerry Ramirez starts him out with a 12-6 curveball at the knees for strike 1. Simpson 0 for 1 today at the top of the order. Flew out to center his first time up. And this top of the order for the Riptide, it needs to start picking up if they want to come back in this game. Skies one down the right field line. Spears on the move towards the track, and he makes the glove for out number 1.
That ball just kept carrying. There was a gust of wind just as he swung the bat. That looked to be a routine flyout, but it took Spears all the way to the track.
There was actually a bird that flew right past him as he made that catch, and it looked like that was the ball that got away from him, but after he made the secure, everybody realized that that bird was indeed a bird and not a baseball. 1 away now, Steve Curry stepping in. He has a single and the lone run today for the Riptide. He'll look to replicate that here. Ramirez offers the first pitch. Curveball, inside corner, strike 1. Jerry Ramirez, his curveball improvement this season has been phenomenal, to say the least. As he rocks and fires the 0-1, another curveball taken for strike 2.
And Jerry throws 2 different types of curveball. He throws a firmer curveball that has a little bit of a tighter break at 75, And then he's got the slow Ephus pitch at 68.
There was a fastball up and in for ball one. Curry from Georgia Southern. He's one of two Georgia Southern products. The other, Mason McWhorter, he's in the hole right now. With one out, we'll see if he can get up this inning. The 1-2. Curveball slapped down the third base line, but foul as Lewis gets there, and we'll do it again. I hope everybody's enjoying their Sunday afternoon, hitting 1 o'clock here on the West Coast. No matter how you're watching or where you're watching, we appreciate you making the CCL Championship a part of your Sunday afternoon plans. Feel free to interact with us on the YouTube live chat. Friend or foe of the broadcast, questions, comments, concerns, shout-outs. You'll have a stat you want us to know. We're always happy to listen to our viewers. The 1-2 in from Ramirez. Curveball missing low. Kamiko had the frame. The umpire didn't bite, and that's ball two.
Oaks consistently got that lower pitch yesterday, specifically with Jackson Simon's guard late in the ball game, but today may not be there.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch ripped down the left field line. Lucas is there. He dives, and he secures the ball for out number 2. Andrew Lucas putting on a sure out there in left field. He steals a base knock from Curry and gives the Oaks out number 2 here in the third.
And Andrew Lucas isn't a normal starter for the Oaks, but Coach Solis putting him out there for his defense, probably because of how many base hits the left field the Riptide had yesterday. Usually it's Chase Cockerell out there, but that move, putting Lucas out there, is really working out.
And he's already 1 for 1 with an RBI single today, so it's not like his bat hasn't been good as well. He'll lead off the Oaks half of the 4th inning. Shift is on for the Oaks. They rotate to the right as Micah Preece steps in. He's 0 for 1 with a pop out to second. Shaken over to second base. In between first and second goes Pickett and Lewis in the shortstop position. Ramirez making sure that the shift is indeed on with 2 away. First pitch. Bunt down the third base line, but it goes foul. And I was going to say, it would be funny if Preece bunts this ball. Normally you don't see that happen. He is fast out of the box, and he tried to make the Oaks pay. But instead, it's strike 1.
Well, the bunt is still there if he wants it. The Oaks still in the shift.
The 0-1. Bunt. He tries to slap at it. He misses, and that's strike 2. Ramirez keeping him off balance, and I don't think Preece has been practicing his bunt lately because that was not pretty to watch.
No, that might have been the oddest swing we've seen all year.
The 0-2, hacked that into right field. No, right over the glove of Pickett's in the shift, and he makes the Oaks pay with his bat. He tried to go opposite on the bunt. He says no instead. I'm going to take it right at the shift, and it pays off. That's a 2-out base knock for Micah Preece.
The Oaks are positioned perfectly. Will Pickett's just a couple inches too short to grab that ball, but a nice swing for Micah Preece for a 2-out knock.
The Riptide fan, they love that one. And the dugout did as well. They all ran out and cheered for the Point Loma Nazarene product. He's on first base. The Oaks back in their normal positions. Mason McWhorter digging in. He's 1 for 1 in the cleanup spot. Big at-bat here. 1 on, 2 away. The first pitch. 2-hopper to second. Pickett's is there. Over to first for out number 3, and that's how the 3rd inning concludes. No runs, a hit, no errors. Preece left at first base. We're through 3 full here from Sparky Anderson Field. The Oaks maintain their 3-1 lead. You're watching CCL Championship Baseball on the CCL Broadcasting Network. We'll be right back with a new pitcher on the mound after this.
fielder, number 5.
Back here for the fourth inning, the Oaks up 3-1. 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up. And for play-by-play, it is my pleasure to hand off the middle innings to my broadcasting partner, Jordan Brenner.
Thank you, Jonathan. Awesome job today. Ryan Sublett is done, and the lefty, Corey Dawson, is the new pitcher. 83 to Andrew Lucas is outside, 1-0. Ryan Sublett today, 3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs. As the 1-0 pitch comes in, a big swing and a miss on the off-speed pitch. Sublett gave up 3 runs, however, only 2 of those runs were earned, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Make that 3 strikeouts. Next pitch, skied out of play right side. Corey Dawson this season went 25 innings, an ERA of 2.52. He struck out 24 batters.
And he pitched a third of an inning yesterday against the Prune Packers in a big spot. He shut them down.
1-2 to Lucas. Off-speed pitch, ground ball left side. Through for a base hit. Andrew Lucas, 2 for 2 today with 2 base hits. He's doing his job in the field and at the plate.
Yeah, you alluded to the fact he's not a normal starter. Normally Bart West is the DH and Chase Cockrell being left. Bart West went 0 for 3 yesterday, and Coach Lee said, you know what, let's put a new body in the lineup today in the form of Andrew Lucas, the superstar former high school product who hasn't even played a collegiate game yet at CSUN, and he's really answered the bell so far today.
Kamenko shows bunt. The snap throw over to first base is not in time. Lucas slides back in safely on the fastball that was high and away. 1 ball, no strikes to Kamenko. Corey Dawson out of Westmont College. Comes set, checks the runner. The bunt sign is down again. Kamenko pulls back, and the pitch is high. 2-0. Dawson has been one of the primary go-to guys for head coach Jason Smith of the Riptide. Such a good arm. 5th on the team in innings pitched. 2-0. Misses again, this time upstairs as well. And Dawson digging himself into quite a hole. Down 3-0. Three balls, no strikes. The pitch. And that's ball 4, a 4-pitch walk. And Oaks in business again. Runners on first and second with nobody out for Will Pickett, who popped out his first time up.
How about the Oaks? They only walked 1 time all game yesterday. That was the very first at-bat against the Foresters. Already 3 drawn walks today. Patience is key here if you're Conejo, because the bats are very hot for the Riptide, at least coming into today. Finding ways to manufacture base runners was one of the keys to the game, and so far they've answered that call. 3rd walk drawn, 2 on, nobody out.
Will Pickett's the new hitter. Dawson has faced the Oaks twice this season. As the pitch comes in, Pickett pops up a bunt, but it drops. The throw is to third base, and Andrew Lucas, who had to wait for the bunt to drop, is nabbed at third base.
That's a fielder's choice 2-5 for those keeping score at home, but a heads-up play by Ortega behind the dish. Instead of lunging forward and trying to make the catch, the best opportunity for him was try to gun down. I don't think he would have been able to make the catch if he lunged at, but he was patient. He didn't try to do anything spectacular. He knew that he could get the runner out at third, and he executed very well.
Dawson went 4 innings against the Oaks in the regular season, gave up 2 runs, as Michael Spears looks at an off-speed pitch that hangs outside, 1-0. Spears tripled his last time up into right center field and then scored. He struck out in the first inning. First and second, 1 out. The pitch. Fouled back, out of play. Ball and a strike. Michael Spears emerged as the primary leadoff man late in the season for Conejo. Coach Solis tried a bunch of guys out at that spot all season long. The 2-1 pitch stays away. Or the 1-1 pitch stays away. Now it's 2-1.
Riptide fans aren't happy with that one. We've seen a lot of fan banter to them throughout this playoffs in the first game yesterday and especially in that second game against the Oaks and the Foresters. But today, vocal again.
2 balls, a strike. Cracked right back to the pitcher. Dawson, only 1 play. Sidearm over to McWhorter at first base. Both runners advance. And now 2 in scoring position with 2 outs for Brandon Lewis. Wonder if they pitch to him this time.
I was going to say, do you just intentionally walk And it looks like Ortega's giving a sign to his pitcher. Now, is that sign to intentionally walk Brandon Lewis? I don't know. With a free base open, they may just not give him an at-bat here in the championship, except for that one where he reached on an error back in the first inning.
Lewis was intentionally walked last inning. Jordan McFarland made the Riptide pay with an RBI hit. Big curveball upstairs and off the plate. 1-0. Brandon Lewis today is 0 for 1. He's reached base twice. The error in the first inning, later scored, and then was intentionally walked, as we alluded to, last inning. 1-0 pitch. Curveball this time drops in. A ball on the strike.
And that's Dawson's repertoire right there. That curveball is so effective when he can locate it. The Oaks are very good against lefties, but not breaking balls against lefties. So if Dawson can channel his inner mentality and keep throwing that curveball, that'll be effective.
Swing and a miss on the off-beater. A ball and 2 strikes, and Lewis has to protect here with 2 outs.
Dawson not shying away, and I like it. You have to show that you're in control of the at-bat. If you let Brandon Lewis feel like he is in control, that's only bad things as a pitcher. However, Dawson right now not backing down, and it's looked good.
1-2, 2 outs. Ground ball, shortstop. Gomez fields, charges, sidearm, and a nice, sweet play over the first base to McWhorter to retire the side and end the threat. No runs, a hit, errors, and 2 runners left on base. The Oaks threaten here in the 4th, but they can't get any runs out of it. To the bottom of the 4th we go. Oaks on top, 3-1. You're watching the CCL Championship game on the CCL Broadcasting Network. Austin Soika leads off the bottom of the 4th inning. The Riptide fans urging their team along. They're behind 3-1, but that should feel like nothing to the Riptide after the 7-run deficit they overcame yesterday. First pitch, a strike on the outer half. 0-1.
3-1 lead doesn't feel or doesn't seem like a lot, but in a championship game, that lead is ostracized because of the implications.
0-1 to Soika, off speed again. A little bit too low, 1-1. We've talked about it, but both of these teams riding high on incredible momentum. As the 1-1 comes in, fastball up and inside, misses the plate, 2-1. The Riptide overcame the 7-run deficit yesterday. The day before, they walked off with 2 outs in the 9th. And the day before that, the hitter Austin Soika, who's at the plate now, also hit a walk-off home run. 2-2. Actually, I got that mixed up. Soika hit the walk-off 2 days ago, and 3 days ago was McWhorter who hit the walk-off home run.
And you know what's funny? Yesterday, Jordan, you talked about how the Riptide were almost magical. And that seems to be the case throughout the last part of the season.
Chopper shaken. Fields has to hurry. Zooms it to first base to McFarland in time for the first out of the inning. Good play by Shaken, who's been sharp today. Brandon Alamo, a fly-out victim. And his only at-bat back in the 1st is the new hitter. Alamo, the left-handed hitter, came in for Matthew Cooper yesterday in the 6th inning as the DH. First pitch. Down and inside, 1-0. And off the bench, Alamo went 1 for 2 with a base hit and a run scored. And that base hit and run scored came in the 8th inning, just like many of his teammates. 1-0 pitch. Hard ground ball right into the shift. Fielded by Pickett's plenty of time Coach Solis has the Riptide figured out. And that's 2 away.
Well, he had Micah Priest figured out, and Priest still made them pay on that shift. So the idea is good. Sometimes the execution doesn't work, but right there it did. And the Oaks are the only team we've seen put out a shift on lefties all season long. And right there it was effective. Good mindset.
Thomas Delgadillo laid down a bunt for a hit, his only time up. It's 1-for-1. Takes a fastball on the outside corner, 0-1. Jerry Ramirez is just grinding right along. Only 1 strikeout, but hasn't given up too much hard contact. Next pitch, check swing. Did he go? The appeal over to first base. Actually, no. The home plate umpire is just going to call it a strike, and it's 0-2.
You're talking about lack of hard hit balls. All 5 hits for the Riptide have been singles, and 2 of them have been infield singles.
That's how they play the game. They run hard, they play hard. They don't necessarily hit it into the gap or over the fence, but still effective. 0-2 on its way. 2 outs. Looked like a changeup in the dirt blocked by Kamiko, and it's 1-2.
But yesterday, you talk about how small ball wins games. In that 8th inning, when they were trailing 9-2, when they batted around before getting it out, they went station to station. It was 9 straight singles for this team.
Wow. 1-2. Another changeup. Nice pitch. Pickett's charges, throws the side armor over to McFarland, and a 1-2-3 inning for Jerry Ramirez, who's now through 4 innings of 1-run baseball. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the CCL Championship game on the CCL Broadcasting Network.
First baseman, number 37.
Top of the 5th. It begins with Jordan McFarland. He hasn't hit the ball very hard, but he's been rewarded with 2 base hits, both of them for RBIs. 3-1 is the score. Corey Dawson. There's a hard hit ball to center field. Aaron Simpson, though, in position, makes the grab for the first out of the frame. McFarland now moves to 2 for 3.
The designated hitter, number 6, Chase Cockrell.
Chase Cockrell, who had a wonderful at-bat in the 3rd, is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and that walk. Big rip and a miss, 75. That was below the knees. Cockrell had no chance, 0-1. Cockrell this year, 356. 6 home runs, 29 RBIs. Late on that pitch, fouls it off to the right side, bouncing towards the pool area at Cal Lutheran. Elijah Alexander's on deck. Infield and outfield straight away. Dawson comes set. Here's the offering. Cockrell looks at a tough pitch. Lays off 84, down and away, 1-2.
Oh, that was such a hard pitch to lay off of, especially from a lefty whose release point almost looks like he's throwing strikes every time.
Cockrell swings through a nasty off-speed pitch for the strikeout. Number 1 on the game for Corey Dawson. And he is moving along, 2 away in the inning. And now a left-on-left matchup against Elijah Alexander.
You know what makes that at-bat so special? Corey Dawson just made Chase Cockrell look like Pee-wee baseball player right there because Cockrell knew he was out ahead of the pitch. He tried to readjust mid-at-bat or mid-swing and couldn't.
First pitch in there. A strike, 0-1 to Alexander, who's 0 for 2 today. A line out and a ground out. 0-1 pitch. Looping curveball stays high, 1-1. And Alexander is a lefty who actually hits both right-handed and left-handed pitching. 1-1 comes in, he's late on it, and pops it out to the opposite way. 1-2.
2 of his 3 home runs this season have been against lefties, and one of them was a shot down to the tennis courts about a month and a half ago.
1-2 pitch, 2 outs, nobody on. Alexander swings at a tough off-speed pitch and fouls it out of play to stay alive again. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Oaks. 1 run, 5 hits, an error for the Riptide. 1-2 pitch. Alexander fights off another one. And it's 1-2 again. Crowd has settled down a little bit after the shenanigans a little while ago. But as we head to the end of the game, I'm sure they'll pick it up. Off-speed pitch again. Alexander keeps on fighting, somehow getting a piece of that one and fouling it out of play.
Dawson currently is in control of this at-bat. Why? Not only does he have a 1-2 count, but he keeps Alexander swinging, and the count does not change. He still has pitchers to play with.
The ball, 2 strikes from the belt, right by the swinging bat of Alexander. 2 strikeouts in the inning and on the game for Dawson. And he responds to Jerry Ramirez's 1-2-3 inning with a 1-2-3 frame of his own. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. To the bottom of the 5th we go. 3-1 Oaks on the CCL Broadcasting Network.
Number 44, Jake Ortega.
The catcher, Jake Ortega, is the hitter. Grounded into an unassisted 6-3 double play. Actually, it wasn't unassisted. Shaken took the ball unassisted to second base.
No, you were right.
Thank you, Jonathan. Need that confirmation. Need it from you.
You're not always right, but you were right there.
Ramirez comes set. First pitch fouled off, 0-1. Jake Ortega did not start in yesterday's semifinal against Healdsburg. It was Chase Sebi who started behind the plate, but Jason Smith making the change, getting Ortega in there for the championship bout. 0-1. Cracked over to Shaken. Weird hop off the mound. Fields over to first in time. Sam Shaken. He's a machine over there.
He is. He was on this team last year when they were downed by Healdsburg in a tough 8-7 loss to end the Oak season. He knows what it takes to beat these tough teams. He's a leader, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, on and off the field. And he not only uses it with his body language and with his words, but with his play as well.
Yeah, you got to call him the vacuum over there at shortstop. Just absorbs every baseball hit his way. Paul Gomez, 0 for 1, a strikeout. Curveball started high, ended at the knees, 0-1. Gomez, out of Missouri. He's a Tiger, and he plays shortstop. Here's the 0-1 offering. Fastball just outside, 1-1.
And you know what's funny? The Oaks fans aren't happy about that call, but that outside fastball, unlike yesterday, has not been there on either side today. So the umpire, good for him, keeping the strike zone consistent. That was actually a good call.
1-1 toss. Off speed, outside, 2-1. Gomez being extra patient right here. Jerry Ramirez, I think, has surpassed expectations so far for this star. He's been unreal. 2-1. Skyer, right field, not deep. Spears charges and gets to it for the second out of the inning. 2 away here.
I mean, you're talking about 1 hit in the last 10 batters for Jerry Ramirez. He's on a roll right now, and the Oaks had to pitch Friedman on Friday, Justin Friedman from Hope International, one of their aces, to get into the playoffs. They had to exhaust Dylan Francis yesterday, who was unbelievably spectacular against the Foresters. And so they kind of had to go with a spot start today for Jerry Ramirez, and he looks like an ace today so far for the Oaks.
He certainly does. Next test, Aaron Simpson, 0 for 2, 2 flyouts. Off speed, low and away, 1-0. And the biggest question coming into the season for the Oaks was their pitching. They have answered all of those questions. The offense was expected to be dominant, and they were. 1-0 curveball inside corner. Aaron Simpson doesn't like it, and neither do the Riptide fans. But the count is a ball and a strike anyway.
And that's the same curveball location that he started off Paul Gomez's at-bat, last at-bat. Again, consistent calls from the umpire on both sides. Though the fans don't like it, the strike zone has been established.
1-1 off speed, tries to catch the inside corner, but fails. And it's 2-1.
It's funny because the Oaks fans just echoed the sighs that the Riptide fans just had on the last pitch.
The 2-1 heave, here it is. Fastball high, and Ramirez behind 3-1 now to Aaron Simpson. You don't want to lose the leadoff hitter. The dangerous Steve Curry is on deck. He's 1 for 2 with a run scored. 3-1 pitch. Fastball high, above the letters, and that's a 5-pitch walk for Jerry Ramirez.
The Oaks didn't allow a walk yesterday against the Foresters, so this is their first walk allowed.
Steve Curry.
They actually allowed 3 walks on Friday as well, so they really haven't been walking too many batters as of late. That's been working well, but right here, this is a big situation. And if you're the Riptide, you have to find a way to capitalize.
Runner on first base, that's Simpson. Steve Curry, the righty, out of Georgia Southern, is the new hitter in a big spot here. Ramirez kicks and pitches. Fly ball on the first pitch. Deep right field. Spears back, and a couple steps shy of the track, makes the third and final out of the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. A runner stranded on first base. Through 5 full, 3-1 Oaks. We'll come back on the other side, the 6th inning in the CCL Championship game on the CCL Broadcasting Network.
Shortstop, number 25.
The top of the 6th begins with Sam Shaken. Shaken walked, scored a run, and also lined out to the second baseman. 0 for 1 today for the Valparaiso shortstop. First pitch outside. Had a really good season for Valparaiso this past year as they moved up conferences to a much more challenging league. Shaking, one of the leaders on that team, just like he is right here. Change up outside and a little bit low, 2-0. A lot of crazy personalities on the Oaks. Sam Shakin's one of those even-keeled guys as the 2-0 pitch is right in there, 2-1.
That's a great way of putting it, Jordan.
And I think that's valuable for the team. He has a calming presence that settles everybody down. When the big moment comes, they're ready to go because of Shakin's leadership. 2-1 misses, and the count is 3 balls and 1 strike.
His leadership and his level-headedness, I think. Again, some of these guys, a lot of these Oaks players are young. You know, they're still kind of rowdy. They're still kind of youthful, if you will.
3-1, and that's a 5-pitch walk. Sam Shakin aboard to lead off the inning. Nobody outs. And Andrew Lucas, who's 2 for 2 with 2 base hits, is the new hitter.
And Sam Shakin really anchors this team with his personality, with his playing. We can't stress it enough. One of the biggest reasons that the Oaks are in the situation they are is because of Sam Shakin.
That's the second walk of the ball game for Corey Dawson, who has not surrendered a run. In relief, fastball high, 1-0. That was an 82-mile-an-hour pitch. Ryan Sublett went 3 innings to start off the game for the Riptide. Dawson took over to start off the top of the 4th inning. Lucas, a jam shot inside the infield. McWhorter calls off the second baseman Curry. Grabs it, 1 away. Zach Kamenko, the catcher, transferring from UNLV. Will have his 3rd plate appearance now. 0 for 1, a strikeout, but also walked. His job is to plug the gap, or at the very least, get Shakin to second base. Dawson comes set, checks the runner. The southpaw delivers a curveball in there, right down the middle. 0-1. Oaks had 3 spectacular catchers this year. However, it's been Kamenko getting both starts here in the CCL playoffs. 0-1, a rip and a miss.
Great off-speeder right there. Kamenko tried teeing it up, and the location as well as the movement on that pitch had Kamenko guessing for strike 2.
Bryce Vitt went in the game against Healdsburg that clinched the Oaks a playoff spot as the 0-2 pitch is fouled back and out of play. However, Coach Solis loves what Kamenko brings offensively to the game. And the fact that he has gotten, or has had, so many clutch hits this year, notably up in Healdsburg. That was one of his best series. Also does a great job controlling the pitching staff, which I don't think we talk about enough, Jonathan. His ability to call a great game for Dylan Francis and today for Jerry Ramirez really should not go unnoticed.
And he saves them a lot of balls with his pitch frames as well.
0-2 ripped down the left field line, and that's a hit. Shakin will head to third base. It's cut off by Delgadillo, and that's going to be a stand-up double for Zach Kamenko. 2 runners in scoring position, only 1 out for Will Picketts.
Some quiet bats coming to life here in the championship for the Oaks. Andrew Lucas, he's 2 for 3 today, and now Will Picketts gets it, or excuse me, Zach Kamenko gets a double. He had 0 extra base hits on the season. A big goose egg, and right there, when it means the most, he comes up big with a double.
So Corey Dawson in some trouble. 2 on, 1 out. The infield for the Riptide is in. The outfield is playing shallow. To be able to nab Kamenko in case he tries to score on a base hit. 71 drops in at the knees, 0-1. Will Picketts out of Cal State Bakersfield. Had a base hit in yesterday's game against the Foresters to center field. 0-1. Shakin, there's a suicide squeeze. Shakin scores. Picketts is out at first base. Not just a squeeze, a suicide squeeze. Shaken takes off before the pitch was thrown. Looks like it was going to steal home. Pickett, who's known for being able to lay down a bunt, gets one down perfectly. And the Oaks on top 4-1.
I was wondering if that was going to be the call. You have one of the best bunters in the league, Will Pickett, who's done it time and time again right there. Sam Shaken off to the races, and a beautifully laid down bunt puts him across.
What a call. First pitch to Spears is fouled off. On that suicide squeeze, Kamenko advances to third base. And you just love the energy that Coach Solis has with the Oaks right now. They are clicking on all cylinders. 0-1 pitch, curveball. A little bit outside, a ball and a strike.
And that's the difference in this ball game. Dave Solis, the head coach for the Oaks, he's been doing it for 11 years. He's been with the team for 11 years. He's been the head coach for 8. He's one of the most storied coaches in the area. And right here, he's pulling out all the stops.
1-1 misses away.
On the other side for Jason Smith, sorry, Jordan. Again, he's a new coach in the CCL for the Riptide, but his baseball background precedes his reputation as well. So both of these coaches, very, very smart. Just Solis has the edge in CCL play.
Spears lunges for that one, fouls it off and out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the amount of trust that you have to have as a manager to be able to call that in a championship game has to be enormous. Will Pickett and Sam Shaken, 2 of the more mature players on the Oaks, 2 of the smarter players on the Oaks. He trusts his guys, and it pays off in a big way right there. 4-1 Caneo once again. 2-2 pitch. Chopper back to the pitcher. Over to first base, and Dawson throws out Michael Spears. Not before a run on a hit. No errors. 1 runner left aboard. The suicide squeeze works out wonderfully for Caneo. We're on to the bottom of the 6th. 4-1 Oaks on the CCL Broadcasting Network. Micah Prees against Jerry Ramirez. That's how the bottom of the 6th starts in a 4-1 ball game here in the CCL Championship. Micah Prees, the shift is on. Last time against the shift, he tried to lay down 2 bunts. He missed on both of them. And then he said, with 2 strikes, screw it. And he lined a base hit to right field. Tries to bunt again, and he misses. But he pulls it back in time. It's 1-0.
Yeah, he learned from his mistakes in the previous at-bat. If it's a bad pitch, just pull the bat back. Bunts are very easy to hold back, and right there, he executed that pull back perfectly.
Kicking the pitch, fastball, high and away, 2-0. Jerry Ramirez in his 6th inning of work, but John Vergara is working in the Oaks bullpen. 2-0 pitch. Fly ball left side out of play. John Vergara did not appear in the semifinal game, but was a major part of the Oaks clincher against Healdsburg on Friday. Line left side almost takes off the head of an Oaks pitcher. I can't tell who that was. He goes behind the gate, but wow, that was scary. Yeah. Unbelievable. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Ferrara got the 2-inning save for the Oaks. 4 strikeouts and only 1 hit in those 2 innings for Vergara, and the Oaks will probably rely on him here in the last 3 innings.
Change up down low. Breeze fights it off. And Coach Solis has all the trust in the world in John Vergara. The bullpen has really emerged as a strength of the Oaks ball club, with Angus Denton, Nick Ringcover pitching some big innings. Obviously, everybody saw what Jackson Simonsgard could do yesterday. That's a deep group that throws bullets. Ground ball back to Ramirez, no problem. Underhand over to McFarland for the first out. Mason McWhorter, the next challenge for Jerry Ramirez. A base hit to center field in the first inning. A ground out to second base his second time up in the 3rd inning. Santa Barbara Foresters were shocked yesterday. The Oaks spoiled the 1-2 matchup as far as seeding for the CCL championship game. Instead, it's the 2nd-seeded Orange County Riptide against the 4th and final-seeded Conejo Oaks.
And remember, this Oaks team, they started off CCL play 4-8 overall, and then an incredible 10-game winning streak put them back in the race. Until the very last game of the season, though, their postseason hopes were unsure because of slow blues, but they were able to cap it off.
From the belt, off speed, McWhorter can't hold up. It's 0-1.
On the other side for the Riptide, they were consistently good all season long, led by Luke Bandy, who unfortunately is not in game, led by Mason Hibbler, who also unfortunately is in the game, but this team has been responding well.
Nasty off-speed pitch at 81, diving down and away. No balls and 2 strikes.
It almost looked like a sinker right there, Jordan.
It had sinking action. A little bit slower than his fastball, so you never know. 0-2. Same pitch, same spot, same result. Swing and a miss, the 2nd strikeout of the game for Jerry Ramirez. 2 away in the bottom of the 6th inning.
McWhorter looked absolutely confused and baffled out there. Ramirez knew that he probably could get him on another similar sinking action fastball low and away. He went back to it. McWhorter paid the price swinging and missing.
Austin Soika, the powerful righty, who's 1 for 2 today. The final hope in the 6th frame for the Riptide. Ramirez, wind up and the pitch. Curve ball, Soika lays off, 1-0.
How about Jerry Ramirez? One of only 2 junior college players in the championship, the other being Thomas Delgadillo for the Riptide, and both are very good.
1-0, another curve ball. This one drops in for a strike. 1-1.
Well, that's the special thing about this league. No matter where you're from, you have some talent, and this is the place to exploit it.
1-1 pitch. Slider outside corner, 75 miles an hour. 1-2. And that's a slider cutter for Jerry Ramirez, which he matches up with a curveball, changeup, and fastball. 1-2. Fastball. Soika goes the other way. It's all the way to the wall. Around first base, hustling to second. Spears throws it in to the infield. It's cut off by Picketts, and that's a 2-out double for Austin Soika. And this Riptide team, they're just as dangerous with 2 outs.
They did a lot of damage yesterday with 2 outs. They scored 3 runs in the 8th inning with 2 outs. They scored 2 runs in the first part of the game with 2 outs yesterday. So with 2 outs, this is a big deal with a runner in scoring position. And Brandon Alamo, who's 0 for 2, he needs to find a way to get on base, as Coach Solis is going to have a conversation with his pitcher, Brandon Luce, and the catcher, Zach Kamenko. But if you're Brandon Alamo, try to get deep in this count. Ramirez really struggles when he is behind in counts. And he gets behind in counts at times. Yes, he'll start you off with a curveball for a strike, but from there on, it's anybody's guess at what the next pitch is coming. And sometimes it's erratic, sometimes it's not. If you're Alamo, have an eagle eye and just wait for your pitch, because it'll come. And when it comes, that's when you rip it and try to get your team within striking distance here in this 6th inning.
It's almost as if the Riptide are a pack of are like a pack of wolves with 2 outs in the inning. They feast off of the energy and the pressure of 2 outs, and they are so dangerous. Jerry Ramirez, a visit with Coach Solis, now ready to go. Solis loves to go talk to his pitchers with 2 outs and give them that final encouragement to finish off the inning. A runner on second base. 4-1 Oaks. Brandon Alamo is the DH and the hitter at the plate. He's 0 for 2. A flyout and a ground out. Soika, a modest leadoff of second. The first pitch, 85 away. A fastball off the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. 4 runs, 6 hits for Caneo. A run, 6 hits, an error for the Riptide. Swing and a miss. Foul tipped into the glove of Kamiko. 1-1.
Good fastball right there at Alamo out in front. He was able to get the very top of the barrel onto the ball, but it didn't matter. The trajectory was right into the glove of Kamiko.
What an intense moment in this huge ball game. 1-1 pitch. Chopper, right side. Ramirez is going to let McFarland take it himself. He tags first base, and Ramirez escapes trouble. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a runner stranded in scoring position through 6 full. It's all Oaks. 4-1 over the Riptide on the CCL Broadcasting Network. The top of the 7th inning begins with the bat of Brandon Lewis. 3-1 Caneo for play-by-play. The spectacular Jonathan Rifkin.
A little facetious adjective for me, Jordan, but I appreciate it. You did a great job, as always, in the middle 3. 4-1 Conejo. Brandon Lewis, the front runner for CCL MVP, digs in here. The first offering from Dawson, ripped down to third, into the glove, tripping over himself as Soika recovers, and nails Lewis by a step for out number 1. Austin Soika, that was a beautiful play to nab a quietly very fast Brandon Lewis.
As Soika delivered a fastball with authority to first base, and he had to because he tripped over himself for a second, but a nice recovery and the first out of the half inning.
That brings up the Omaha from the University of Arkansas, Jordan McFarland. He's 2 for 3 today. The first pitch from Dawson, he takes low and away for ball 1. McFarland, this is his second championship game in just over a month. He participated in the College World Series Championship, the 1-0 outside for ball 2, with the University of Arkansas, and then he had 1 day off after spending 16 days in Omaha, and then joined the Oaks right after the 2-0. A strike at the knees, 2-1. This guy plays baseball year-round, and he's effective all 365 days he does it. 2-1 offering. Fastball back up in the middle. Oh, into the glove of Curry. He bobbles it and can't make the throw in time. We'll see if they give him an infield single. They will, and Jordan McFarland is on for his 3rd time today.
And McFarland has 3 singles. All have come on soft contact. A testament to his hustle and his ability to get the bat on the ball, even on tough pitches.
Chase Cockerell's turn now. He's been quiet, 0 for 2, a walk and a pair of strikeouts. The first offering, upstairs ball 1. Chase Cockerell was the number 2 prospect in the CCL. Chase Illig, the other one. Illig was shut down for the rest of the season by the Foresters last week. We did not see him yesterday. The 1-0 offering to Cockrell in the dirt ball, 2. And Chase really performed well in the prospect game a couple of weeks ago. He had a pair of hits. Every Oaks batter actually got on base. And they had quite a good representation in that prospect game. A 2-0 offering. Fastball popped up, right side. Shallow right field in foul territory. McWhorter trying to chase it down. He gets called off. And the grab is made by Mike Capriz toward the bullpen for out number 2.
Cockrell just a little bit under that one. It was a good swing, but an even better pitch.
Center fielder number 19, Elijah Alexander.
The runner on first and 2 away. It's Elijah Alexander's turn. 0 for 3, a strikeout and 2 pop-outs. And an opportunity to extend this top of the 7th for Conejo. The Oaks searching for their first championship in 12 years of existence. The first pitch, lefty on lefty. Curveball that doesn't break upstairs, ball 1. They're trying to defeat the reigning champs, the Orange County Riptide. What a job both these teams have done getting to this point in the season with some more work to be done. The 1-0. Fastball, drilled, shallow right center field. Simpson and Prees under it, and Aaron Simpson out of center field will make the glove. For out number 3 here in the top of the 7th inning. No runs hit, no errors. McFarland stranded on first base. It's time to get up and stretch. Get up, do something enjoyable, because it's still a close one here, and it may get tense towards the final couple of innings. 4-1 Conejo. You're watching CCL Championship Baseball on the CCL Broadcasting Network. We'll be back after the stretch with John Vergara on the mound. John Vergara is on the mound for the Oaks, and he'll face the really tough bat of Thomas Delgadillo, who's 1 for 2 today. Welcome back, everybody. Bottom of the 7th, we hope you enjoyed the stretch. Fans here were dancing the footloose, staying loose as it has been an intense ball game until this point, and I expect it to remain the same until the final out is made. John Vergara headed to UC Irvine in the fall. He came in uncommitted from Glendale City College. Chico State wanted him in an incredible turn of events. He got a wonderful offer from Irvine, and he'll be attending there in the fall. First pitch to Delgadillo, taken for strike 1. Vergara on the season, 16 appearances, 2-1 record. He had 3 saves and 3 tries. 2.61 ERA, 28 strikeouts, only 8 walks. The 0-1. Slider low and away, ball 1.
And Vergara's a guy, he'll throw a fastball, slider, and changeup. but unlike a lot of pitchers in the CCL, he actually utilizes every single one of his pitches, and all are critical for his success.
Delgadillo rips and misses at a 1-1 for strike 2. He's 1 for 2 today, and a really good guy. They actually played against each other, Thomas Delgadillo and John Vergara, back in JC. Fullerton College versus Glendale City College. And right here, Glendale City College has the edge of 1-2 in the count. Southpaw on southpaw, the delivery. Fastball remains upstairs. That evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. John Vergara gave the Oaks their second CCL win of the season all the way back on June 11th. They were tied into the 11th inning with the Academy Barons, and he closed the door on the Barons and gave his team an 8-7 win. The 2-2 fastball way inside, and that's ball 3. From there on, John Vergara was one of the most reliable relievers for this team and a very good setup man for Angus Denton. Delgadillo has a full count. He's worked his way back. Vergara deals. Fastball inside, ball 4. And that's a big walk. The leadoff man gets on. The first walk given up by Vergara. Only the second walk drawn on the game for the Riptide. And Delgadillo has some wheels. The Oaks have to be careful, especially because teams like to run on Zach Kamenko.
That's exactly right.
Coming in a pinch hit for the Riptide.
Oh, we're going to see a pinch hitter.
Chase Sebi.
Let's see Chase Sebi from Ball State. He'll be taking over the catching duties for Jake Ortega. Ortega ends his day 0 for 2. Sebi, yesterday, reached base 3 times. He was hit by a pitch. He reached on an error, ending an RBI single in the 8th inning. He'll look to repeat his theatrics here and find a way on base. As the Riptide superfan leads the team in some cheers, they're trying to pump up Sevi. The Oaks fans on the other side, well, they're dead silent right now. The first pitch, upstairs, ball 1. Four runs, 7 hits for the Oaks, 1 run, 6 hits, 1 error for the Riptide. Sebi digs back in, the 1-0 delivery. A fastball again upstairs, and Vergara, he's unhappy with himself, and Kamenko's going to talk to him. Head coach Dave Solis told us before the game that every Oaks pitcher is on a very short leash. We'll see here how long Vergara goes if his struggles continue before Solis either goes out and talks to him or starts warming up another man in the bullpen. And right now it is Nick Greencover getting up and starting the stretch for the Oaks. You saw the superfan on our screen. He goes by the name of Keith. He's the Cal State Fullerton superfan over the regular season and makes the trek for the Riptide during the summer season.
Was also a big Foresters supporter.
That was because they had Tanner Bibby from Cal State Fullerton. 2-0 pitch, a fastball missing above the belt, and that's ball 3. He was a Forester supporter yesterday solely for the Fullerton guys. That being Tanner Bibby, a phenomenal pitcher, the number 1 pitching prospect in the CCL. He shut down the Oaks, but it didn't matter. The Oaks still won. The 3-0 upstairs. Called a strike, though. Wow, that is a high fastball and a late call, but the count is now 3 balls and a strike. Vergara trying to work his way back in this count. Runner on first, nobody out. The 3-1. Fastball cracked out of play, and that brings the count full. John Vergara doesn't walk very many batters. He only had 8 coming into the playoffs. First batter he faced, Thomas Delgadillo walked. Right here, he had a 3-0 count to Chase Sebi. Got a very lucky pitcher's call. And right there, another foul ball. Full count now, Vergara offers. Skyer into center field. Alexander moves forward just a tad, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Delgadillo retreats back to first base.
That's a good job from Vergara. Fell behind early, but was able to settle in and throw strikes. When this guy's in the zone, he's hard to square up. He doesn't even need to shave corners like a lot of guys do. There's so much movement on his pitches, and from the left side, the ball jumps out of his hands. A lot of velocity to deal with for hitters.
Now it's Josh Nikoloff's turn from Columbia University in New York. Paul Gomez's day is done. He went 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout. Josh Nikoloff batted .200 this past season with 9 RBIs. First pitch, a strike, no, a ball low and away. The Oaks fans don't like it. That was at 89, the fastest pitch from Vergara all day, ball 1. That outside part of the plate hasn't been there on both sides of the ball. The crowd still doesn't like the strike zone on both sides, the Oaks and the Riptide. The 1-0 pitch. That's a fastball on the inside corner to even the count. Josh Nikoloff has had limited appearances with the Riptide. He's had some big hits, but has had his struggles as well. That could all be forgiven here if he can find a way on base. Delgadillo's off to the races. The throw is high. The throw to second is not in time. 2 balls, a strike, and a stolen base for Delgadillo. Puts a 1-out base runner into scoring position and a favorable count to the batter. That was a big move right there by Coach Smith, and it paid off. Delgadillo at second base.
It certainly did, and Delgadillo stole that bag off of John Vergara, not off of Zach Kamiko. Kamiko delivered a good throw in pretty good time, but it was too late.
The 2-1 popped up right side. Shallow right field. Towing the grass is Pickett's, and he's under it for out number 2. So after a really good stolen base, Nikoloff is jammed.
Center fielder number 22, Aaron
And with a
Simpson.
runner on second and now 2 outs, Aaron Simpson digs back in. He's 0 for 2, a pair of flyouts to center field, and a walk to his day. And he'll try to keep the inning alive here in the bottom of the 7th for the Orange County Riptide. Wind picking up now to right field. It started off blowing at 8 to 10 miles an hour. Now it's going between 12 and 15 miles an hour. And if you're a left-handed batter with that wind blowing to right field, it benefits you. If you're a left-handed batter with that wind blowing to right field, it benefits you. First pitch upstairs, ball 1. If you're a right-handed batter, I don't know why this is so difficult to explain. If you're a right-handed batter and you're a power hitter, that ball normally gets caught in that jet stream and tends to be pretty easy fly balls to the left side of the field. But again, if you go opposite field as a righty, that could be damage. The 1-0, low and inside, ball 2. It's been a long grind. Both these teams played over 40 games in the regular season. The Oaks had 24 road games. The Riptide had 22. Vergara toes the rubber, rocks and fires the 2-0. A strike right down Main Street for a 2-1 count now.
And he's really relying on his fastball right now, Vergara is. The off-speed, not that sharp, has not shown command of it. But the fastball, when it's over the plate, it's been good.
2 balls and a strike. Southpaw delivers a fastball outside, ball 3. And I have a feeling as ring cover now really begins to warm up hard, Vergara looks a step off right now on the mound, and we'll see how long his outing lasts with the struggles continuing here. Down on the count, 3 balls and a strike. Toes the rubber from the stretch. The 3-1 is in the dirt, ball 4. And that's a 2-out walk for Aaron Simpson. He's very fast too. The 2 speedsters on base now. Thomas Delgadillo at second. Aaron Simpson on first. 2 outs. And the tying run coming to the plate. It's Steve Curry. And Dave Solis has seen enough. He's going to walk out to the mound, though I don't think Vergara will be pulled just yet. I think it is just a conversation to try to get this final out of the inning.
Could be ring covers really ramping up his work in the bullpen. Solis, he did this earlier in the game with Jerry Ramirez. Loves to talk to the pitchers with 2 outs and when they're in a jam. But Solis has endless confidence in John Vergara, and he should because of what Vergara has done all summer long.
4 runs, 7 hits for Conejo, 1 run, 6 hits, and an error for the Orange County Riptide. The Riptide play their home baseball at Fullerton Junior College. They made the move from Concordia University Irvine this season. The last 2 seasons they played in Concordia, and this season at Fullerton. Fullerton reminds us of a mini Wrigley Field. It has Ivy in the outfield. It has pretty packed stands at times, and they do a good job down there. The Riptide, a very good home team, a very solid road team, but right now trying to find a way to get back into this one, trailing 4-1. The meeting breaks, 2 on, 2 away. Tying runner at bat. The first pitch whipped in the shallow left field. That drops. Rounding third, being waved on home is Delgadillo. The throw to the plate is in time. Andrew Lucas guns down Thomas Delgadillo, and the 7th inning is over. Wow, what a play, and the Oaks explode out of the dugout.
I'm in shock. That's a big league throw.
No runs, one hit, no errors, and 2 men stranded on base. We're through 7 here. The atmosphere is electric. The Oaks up 4-1. Top of the 8th after this on the CCL Broadcasting Network. Sam Shakin will kick off the 8th inning here after an exciting end to the 7th. Steve Curry singled, but Delgadillo was gunned down at home by Andrew Lucas in left. Corey Dawson back out there. It was a beautiful curveball in the outside corner for strike 1 to Sam Shakin. Shakin 0 for 1 today, a pair of walks and a pair of runs scored. In between that, though, a pop out to shortstop. Takes a fastball at the knees. No balls and 2 strikes. This has been an intense ball game. The Oaks have been up for the entirety of it, but the Riptide are not going away. It's still within reach. Dawson delivers the 0-2. Curveball in the dirt. Brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sam Shakin.
And how about the work Corey Dawson has done? This is a tired Riptide bullpen. They had to use a lot of arms yesterday, and he's bridging the gap between Sublet and the back end of the bullpen.
1-2 pitch. Curveball low for ball 2. 2-2 count here to Shakin. As he digs in. Alpreso Crusader swings at a 2-2. 2-hopper to short. Over to first. That's Josh Nikoloff, by the way, coming into play the field, and that's out number 1. The new catcher as well is Chase Sebi.
Well, left fielder number 5, Andrew Lucas.
6-3 putout gives out number 1 here in the 8th, and now it's Andrew Lucas's turn. He's 2 for 3, and Jordan, I think as far as the game goes, he may be the MVP so far.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The diving catch in left field, the throw out, 7-2 on the putout, and his offense have been spectacular.
First pitch, lone away for ball 1, and you told me during the break he saved Vergara. I think you're right. The 0-1, a curveball, nasty in there for strike 1. Wow, what movement on that from Corey Dawson. Absolutely unhittable. The southpaw delivers the 1-1, bounces a foot in the front of the plate. That's ball 2. But Andrew Lucas playing in the biggest game at the next level in his life. Just graduated high school in the middle part of June. Headed to CSUN in the fall. The 2-1. Another curveball on the outside corner taken. That's strike 2. Dawson pulling out something special right now, trying to stifle the Oaks offense. He rocks and fires. Another breaking pitch. This one fought off, and we'll do it again. Two-two. Dawson delivers. Flyer into right center field. Moving to his left is Simpson, and he's there for out number 2.
In both playoff games, the Oaks have scored early and have really been let down offensively later in the ball games. They did get the run in the 6th inning, but for the most part, all of their offense came in the first 3 innings.
Zach Hamenko now stepping in. He's 1 for 2, a strikeout, a walk, and a double in his 3 at-bats. From UNLV, though, he's transferring in the fall. We don't know where, though, yet. First pitch, upstairs, ball 1. He doesn't want to sit out, though, so he doesn't necessarily care about going to a D1, but he has the talent to still get looks, regardless of where he transfers to at any level. Quickly dealing Dawson the 1-0. A curveball paints the outside corner, and that's strike 1. These Oaks batters can't even lift the bat against that curveball right now.
Yeah, it's dropping off a table.
And he's hit that outside corner beautifully. Dawson from the stretch, the 1-1. Curveball outside, and that's ball 2. 2-1 the count here to Kamenko. Bryce Vitt and Drew Sims, the other two Oaks catchers. Sims, though, not eligible, I should say, to play. He has a concussion, and Kamenko has replaced him quite nicely. The 2-1. Breaking pitch in the dirt. 3 balls and a strike. Only breaking pitches we've seen in this at-bat from Corey Dawson. No fastballs yet.
Yeah, that's what his strategy is. Keep hitters off balance, change speeds, touch corners, and it's been effective.
We'll see here how he does behind in the count. The 3-1, a high fastball, got Kamenko guessing.
Kamenko was actually early on that pitch. It had some wicked break. It was the fastball upstairs, but usually you see hitters behind it.
3 balls and 2 strikes. The payoff pitch. Fastball. 2 hopper to third. Soika's there. He fires it to first and beats Kamenko for out number 3. 1-2-3 frame for Corey Dawson. Retires the Oaks in order. And we're through the top of the 8th inning. The Oaks maintain a 4-1 lead. But remember what happened in the 8th inning yesterday. The Riptide will try to repeat that performance here today. They'll face John Vigaro. When we come back, you're watching the CCL Championship on the CCL Broadcasting Network. And no, it'll actually be Nick Ringcover when we come back. Mike Apries will lead things off. It's Nick Ringcover's turn on the mound for the Oaks. John Vigaro went 1 inning, gave up 1 hit, but he walked 2 and was saved by a throw from Andrew Lucas to Zach Kamenko to Nab Delgadillo at the plate. Mike Apries on the day, 1 for 3. A line out and a pop out. In between that, though, a single on the third. They'll look to get on here. Lefty on lefty matchup. Ringcover from Pierce Junior College delivers the first pitch. Slider outside, ball 1.
And Angus Denton already getting ready in the Oaks bullpen. Came into yesterday's game, struck out the final hitter of the ball game on 3 pitches.
Ringcover delivers another slider. This one catches the outside corner. That's a ball and a strike. Nick Ringcover, another pitcher for the Oaks who was a late addition and had strong progression throughout the season. Has emerged as one of the most reliable bullpen arms. The 1-1, another slider caught. Apries swinging and missing. 1 ball and 2 strikes. His numbers, 14 appearances on the season, 1-2 record. He did have 2 saves and a 3.42 ERA, though he was sub-3 before he gave up 6 runs a week and a half ago to the Slow Blues. The 1-2 slider, hacked at and missed for strike 3. 4 sliders in that at-bat. Gets Micah Priest swinging and missing. That's the first strikeout for ring cover on the game. And out number 1 here in the 8th.
And that's what he does best. The fastball and the slider, so nasty together because they're released from the same arm slot. They look like the same pitch. The problem is, for opposing hitters, the slider falls off, and they have no chance to get there.
Mason McWhorter now stepping in. Had a single back in the first, but since then, 0 for 2, a groundout and a strikeout to his day. He's a fan favorite here to our right. They're chanting his name as he digs in. Another lefty-on-lefty matchup. Angus Denton for the Oaks warming up in the bullpen. The first pitch. Slider, low and away, ball 1. Denton struck out Cameron Fields yesterday on 3 straight pitches to punch the Oaks' ticket to the championship. And we'll see if he's tasked in the next inning with taking the mound again. Another slider, low and away, ball 2 now to Mason McWhorter. The southpaw from the stretch. 2-0, ripped down the right field, and that drops for a single. Mason McWhorter got himself into a hitter's count, the first fastball that ring cover threw today. It pays off for McWhorter. He's on with a single. 1 out now in Austin Soika, who's been the most productive Riptide batter today. He's 2 for 3 with a double and an RBI single, is stepping in.
Yeah, this is a sticky situation for Nick Ringcover. Soika so good against pitchers of both sides, but particularly powerful against the southpaws.
Riptide fans begin their chant for Austin Soika. He digs in, trying to find a way back into this game. Ring cover delivers. Fastball in the dirt. That's ball 1. Hope everybody's enjoying their Sunday afternoon. I hope you're enjoying the game. No matter how you're watching or where you're watching, we appreciate making the California Collegiate League Championship a part of your Sunday afternoon plans. 1-0 count, 4-1 ball game, bottom of the 8th inning. The Riptide looking for the magic that brought them back in the 8th inning yesterday when they were trailing 9-2. Right now trailing by 3. The 1-0 ripped down the line, but foul, and that evens the count here to Austin Soika.
And Soika does a weird thing when he's in the batter's box. When he's holding his bat, he actually has his index finger on his right hand up and his pinky up on his left hand. A little bit unusual, but whatever works.
And it's been working for him all season long, especially today. Is that lone RBI back in the first inning that scored Steve Curry. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away, 1 on. The delivery, a slider over to third. Lewis checks the runner at second, but goes to first, and that is a smart 5-3 put out for out number 2. McWhorter to second on the play.
Yeah, Brandon Lewis, no doubt about it, made the right play to first base. McWhorter would have beaten out the throw to second, and it's not time to get cute with any plays if you're the Oaks. Lewis making the safe play and getting the second out.
Correction. Coming in to pinch hit for the Riptide from Clemson, number 21, Matthew Cooper.
Matthew Cooper coming in as a pinch hitter here in place of Brandon Alamo. The DH is done. He went 0 for 3. 2 flyouts and a ground out to his day.
Cooper was 0 for 2 in yesterday's semifinal, a flyout and a 6-4-3 double play.
From Clemson University, and now Brandon Lewis wants to have a conversation with Nick Ringcover. Crowd chanting, "Let's go Cooper." He batted .244 this past season. And again, all amends will be made here if he can find a way to get McWhorter in.
And you wonder if Coach Solis might go to Angus Denton for the 4-out save, considering Matthew Cooper is a lefty smasher. We'll see in a moment. But Lewis, Ringcover, McFarland, and Kamenko all on the mound for a meeting.
Whatever the conversation is, Solis was actually talking to Brandon Lewis first and had a message for him to pass on to Sam Shaken, and now Ringcover is going to be left out there, I think, for the purpose of development. Remember, yes, it's a championship game. Yes, these teams want to win, but this is a developmental league. This was the first ever wood bat summer collegiate league in the country, incepted back in the 1990s. And these players are here to develop. in a big situation in the future, Nick Ringcover in college or at the next level might have to face a lefty smasher such as the one up at the plate in Cooper with the runner on second. So they're going to keep him in. They could put Angus Denton in, but that doesn't help Ringcover develop. And this is a situation where he can learn something from regardless of what the outcome is. Cooper digs in. Ringcover sets and fires. A slider in the dirt for ball one.
Tying run is in the on-deck circle. So no matter what, Ringcover has to throw strikes because a walk gives the Riptide a chance to tie the game with one swing of the bat.
Ringcover comes set, and he checks the runner. Kicks and fires the 1-0. Slider, cut on a miss, strike one. He's throwing almost exclusively sliders here.
That's his go-to pitch. And why wouldn't it be?
His fastball was hit, the first one that he threw in the inning, by McWhorter down the line. So far, it's been only sliders since. 1 ball and a strike here. Cooper digs back in. 1-1. Slider, ripped to short, backhanded by Shaken. Heels on the grass. The throw across the diamond is in time, and the Valparaiso Crusader, deemed one of the best defending prospects in the CCL, shows you why right there, getting Cooper out by a step. And we're through the 8th inning. No runs, a hit, no errors. Nobody left on base with the 9th inning looming. The Conejo Oaks are 3 outs away from holding on and winning their first ever CCL championship, but we're far from done yet, folks. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a
4-1 ball game. Corey Dawson back out there. And he's tasked with facing the 9-1 and 2 hitters for the Conejo Oaks. Will Pickett's, Michael Spears, and Brandon Lewis. The top of the 9th inning. The final game of the CCL. And we're still awaiting the champion to be crowned. Right now, the Oaks, though, holding on to a 3-run lead. They'll try to tack on a few more. First pitch to Will Pickett's. A strike at the belt. Pickett's on the day. He's 0 for 2, but he had a sacrifice squeeze, or a suicide squeeze, if you will, in the 6th inning that scored Sam Shaken. That was the last run scored in the ballgame. The 0-1, bunt is down the third baseline. Oh, it's a beauty. Dawson can't even make the throw, and Will Pickett's absolutely filthy bunt right there. He's on first base. The leadoff runner on now for the Oaks.
And the thing about that bunt is there's no defense for it. Even if the third baseman, Soika, was on the grass prepared for it, it was laid down with such finesse and so slowly down the third base line, he still wouldn't have been able to get Pickett's at first base.
That is a textbook dead fish bunt, if you will. A slow roller that stops between home plate and third base. 1 on, nobody away, Spears in. First pitch, a strike at the knees. Spears is 1 for 3 today. Strikeout in the first, a triple in the third. He came around and scored thereafter. 1-3 put out in the 4th, and another one in the 6th. The 0-1. Bunt down, but it goes backwards for strike 1. Actually, strike 2. Almost a Happy Gilmore bunt, if you will. He started off with a leadoff forward and charged the ball before he tried applying that bunt.
Do you mean when you say Happy Gilmore that he tried to lean into it with his head?
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. The 0-2 curveball, low and inside, ball 1. For those who don't know, Happy Gilmore, the Adam Sandler movie, it's famed for its comedic presence, but Happy Gilmore actually charges a golf ball before he takes the swing, and that was kind of like Michael Spears' bunt right there.
I see.
1-2, hacked at and missed, strike 3, and Spears goes down for out number 1. The third punch out of the game for Dawson.
Spears upset with himself there. tried to get the runner over, got to 2 strikes, had to swing the bat, and he couldn't come up with ball. He just swung through it.
Middle infield in double play depth. Curry at second, Nikoloff at short. They're hoping to find a way to retire Brandon Lewis and give their offense one more opportunity to come back in this game. The first pitch to the slugger. High, deep drive, right center field. That is a shot. Going. See you later, baseball. A 2-run shot for Brandon Lewis, and he continues to pour it on here. The Oaks lead 6-1.
And how about the first bat flip from Brandon Lewis? You'll never see Brandon Lewis try to show up another team. But in the championship game, Brandon Lewis said, to heck with it. I'm going to sit here and watch that baseball fly out of here. What a shot to the opposite field.
Brandon Lewis is a special player. He's led the CCL in every offensive category, including home runs. And he shows off the power right there. The Oaks now sitting on a 5-run lead. Corey Dawson has given up 3 on the ball game now. And Jordan McFarland will step in with 1 out. Towering home run right there. The first pitch to McFarland. The southpaw delivers. Curveball on the inside corner, strike 1. The Oaks fans went beside themselves after that home run. The first home run we've seen for the Oaks this playoffs. Ryan Cash for the Foresters had the lone home run yesterday. That one a pop-up. First base side. McWhorter has a look, but can't get to it, and that's strike number 2. McFarland's had a great day as well. He's 3 for 4. 3 singles, 2 RBIs, and a flyout. And the Arkansas Razorback digs back in, down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. The Riptide superfans still fired up here. The 0-2 down the line. Foul, and third base coach Brian Wilson makes the catch.
Got to remember, though, no lead is safe against the Orange County Riptide. They thrive in these situations.
The 0-2 pitch, low and away, ball 1. 6 runs, 9 hits for the Oaks. 1 run, 8 hits, 1 error for the Riptide. Riptide have stranded 8 on base. The 1-2. Whip down the left field line. That gets down for a single. Back-to-back hits for the Oaks. Gives them 3 on the inning. And Jordan McFarland now 4 for 5 on the ball game. After having a pretty good game yesterday where he did go 1 for 4, but a big RBI single in the first. And that was coming off a 3 for 4 ball game on Friday. He has been hotter than the sun lately.
He certainly has been. Just dropped his bat inside on that low fastball and hit a bullet to left field for his 4th hit of the ball game.
Coach Smith is going to have a conversation. Corey Dawson's day will be over. New pitcher walking down. Actually, no, there was a pitcher warming up. He's waiting at the dugout. It doesn't look like Dawson is going to be pulled, though. There's still a long conversation on the mound.
Not sure what's going on. But
Nope.
We'll see. Yeah, the new pitcher will come in. Yeah.
So Dawson gets pulled. He had a really good first couple of innings, but the Oaks put the exclamation point here on his outing today. It's now the University of Oregon Duck Tyler Frazier coming in to pitch. When we come back, 1 on, 1 away, 2 around in the inning. It's championship baseball. The Oaks up 6-1, top 9. Tyler Frazier, who just graduated high school and is headed to the University of Oregon after the season, is the new pitcher. 27 2/3 innings on the season, 4.23 ERA. He had 18 punch-outs, actually 28 punch-outs to only 12 walks. Corey Dawson's day is done. We'll give you his line here in just a moment. Chase Cockrell digging in, 1 on, 1 out, 2 around in the inning. The Oaks up 6-1. Curveball, inside corner, called a strike for Frazier. Corey Dawson's day, 5 1/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, all were earned. A home run, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Frazier comes set, toes the rubber and kicks and fires. A curveball whipped into left field. That's through. 2 consecutive singles for the Oaks. It was McFarland at second, Cockrell at first, and only 1 out. The Oaks offense exploding right here in the top of the ninth.
Yeah, Brandon Lewis, McFarland, and Cockrell have carried this offense to the championship, and they're continuing their production here today.
Elijah Alexander now 0 for 4 will step in. He's the only Oak to have yet to reach base today of the starting 9. The first pitch from Frazier to the lefty is low for ball 1. Frazier's going to be an asset up at the University of Oregon along with fellow Riptide and future Oregon Duck teammate Jack Noble. The Oregon Ducks always in need of pitching, and these 2 guys have plenty of talent to improve that squad. The 1-0 in. Beautiful changeup, cut on a miss for strike 1.
Yeah, Noble's a 3-pitch guy. The fastball, a big curveball, and that nasty changeup that Elijah Alexander was just fooled on.
Alexander from the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. He batted .284 this past season. He had 2 walk-offs for the team. Curveball hanging, finds the outside corner. Beautiful pitch. 2 consecutive good pitches from Frazier. Has him up in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Frazier toes the rubber, comes set, rocks and fires the 1-2. Cut on and miss, strike 3. Alexander goes down swinging the second time he's been struck out today, and that's out number 2. Frazier trying to hold the lead to just 5 and give the bottom 3, Delgadillo, Sebi, and Nikolov, an opportunity to jumpstart a bottom of the 9th inning. That is do or die because it is the championship game. 2 away, 2 on, 2 around in the inning. Frazier against Shaken now. Shaken 0 for 2 with 2 walks. The first pitch. Fastball into the sliding glove, and now off of Soika. He fires it over to second. It's off the bag, and that is an error by Austin Soika over to Steve Curry at second base. That was a very hard hit ball, and that allows Sam Shaken over to first, and the bases are all loaded for Andrew Lucas. He has a grand slam already this season, and he's been good today. He'll look to continue his 2 for 4 day here with the bases loaded.
Yeah, setting the stage for the young fella. A big future in the game of baseball, but also proving he's having a big present, too.
2 former high school players who have yet to play collegiate ball facing each other. Frazier to Lucas. The first curveball misses low for ball 1. McFarland at third, Cockrell at second, Shaken at first. That error was charged to Austin Soika, the second error for the Riptide of the ballgame. Lucas digs back in. Frazier delivers the 1-0. Big swing and a miss for strike 1. That was a home run swing, and Frazier had him off balance. One ball and 1 strike. Bases all juiced. 6-1 ball game. 6 runs, 11 hits for the Oaks. 1 run, 8 hits, 2 errors for the Riptide. The Riptide have not only come back in the playoffs, they did it against the Oaks 3 weeks ago. They'll have to do it again here today. The 1-1 from Frazier. Fastball outside corner, but it misses for ball 2. Frazier taking his time. Looks composed out there. From the belt, the 2-1. High fly ball. Foul territory. Third base side. Soika's there, and he makes the catch for out number 3. Nonetheless, though, the Oaks strike for 2 runs on the big 2-run shot by Brandon Lewis. They also muster up 3 hits and an error by the Riptide. The Oaks strand, the bases loaded. Bottom of the 9th, and there is 1 more opportunity for the Riptide to try and come back into this game. The possible conclusion to the CCL Championship on the other side of this break. We'll be right back. The California Collegiate League Championship is in the bottom of the 9th inning. And it's up to Thomas Delgadillo against Nick Ringcover here. The Riptide trails 6-1, and the Oaks are 3 outs away from their first ever championship in the 12 years of existence. Delgadillo, he's 1 for 2 today, a walk and a single. The first pitch. Slider, ripped out of play. That's strike 1. The Riptide fans still remaining in it. They're chanting for their team, trying to will them the victory. The rally caps are on. And Ringcover will try to push his team to victory. He rocks and fires the 0-1. Slider outside, ball 1. The Oaks fans all very quiet. They're waiting to erupt. The 1-1 to Delgadillo. A slider fouled back. Strike 2.
And how about Nick Ringcover starting off the final frame, perhaps, for the Conejo Oaks of the season. The beginning of the year, he wasn't one of the guys Coach Silly trusted. But now, on the biggest stage, what a year for him.
The Oaks lost 2 years ago to the Foresters in the championship. The 1-2 fouled back once again. And the Riptide beat the Packers last year in the championship. So it's a team that lost 2 years ago in the reigning championship. The Oaks, though, currently in the driver's seat. They're 3 outs away. This team owned by Mike Sosha, they've been competitive. In the 12 years, they've made 6 championships, but they have never won. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The southpaw delivers. Delgadillo takes it. Strike 3 on the outside corner. A fastball. He was looking for a slider, and that's out number 1 here. 2 outs now away for the Conejo Oaks.
Number 20, Chase Sebi.
What a nasty sequence from Ringcover there. Through who knows how many sliders, and then finish it off with a pink fastball on the outside corner. Delgadillo had no chance.
Chase Sebi digging in. He came in a pinch hit spot in the 8th spot for Jake Ortega. He's 0 for 1 with a fly out to center. Ringcover, the delivery. Slider at the knees, strike 1. The Oaks had Angus Denton warming up. He's sitting on the bench now, and they're hoping they don't have to use him. It's Nick Ringcover's game to win right now. The southpaw comes set. Pearson fires the 0-1, a fastball in the dirt, and that evens the count. Sebi and Nikolov, 2 batters right now. Sebi in, Nikolov on deck. And the Riptide hope they can get back to the top of the order. Aaron Simpson and Steve Curry have been good today. And those are the bats you want in a clutch situation. 1 ball, 1 strike. The delivery, a slider. Almost hits the left elbow of Sebi, but it misses just by a smidge, 2-1. 2-1 the count. 1 out, 6-1 ball game. Bottom of the ninth. All the marbles on the line. The 2-1, a fastball upstairs, and that's ball 3. The Riptide fans cheering as loudly as they can. 3 balls and a strike. Ring cover offers. Fastball jammed him backwards. That goes into the softball field behind us, and that's strike 2. Full count now. Ring cover taking his time on the mound from the stretch and the belt. The payoff pitch. Slider, right field, foul territory. Spears will make his way, but that ball will elude him into no man's land, and the count remains at full. Chase Sebi fought off a tough slider. And right here, look for that fastball. It's been erratic for ring cover, and that could work in the favor of Sebi. If his eagle eye is working, a walk would be very good here for the Riptide. Ring cover, though, delivers a 3-2 fastball. High to left field, though not very deep. Lucas takes a step back and now forward, and he makes the catch. The Conejo Oaks are 1 out away from a CCL championship.
And how about the Riptide? What a magical season they've had. Walk-off home runs, critical moments. They deserve a lot of credit for what they've done. And even if they fall short today, their season was successful.
No matter what, you have to tip your cap to all these CCL teams. The first pitch up the middle, shaking dives, and it goes through his glove into left center field. Josh Nikoloff digging deep for second. The throw to second from Lucas is cut off, and that's a double by Josh Nikoloff. It's not over yet, folks. The Riptide hanging around right now. 2 outs, runner on second, 6-1 ball game. And the dangerous Aaron Simpson stepping in.
And now we see Angus Denton get up off his butt in the bullpen and start throwing again. The Riptide's so potent with 2 outs. Ring cover continues to struggle. Denton will be there to shut it down.
9th hit of the day, though only 1 run for the Riptide. Aaron Simpson 0 for 2, 2 flyouts and then 2 walks. He's been straight on first both times. The first pitch, a slider. Just missing outside, ball 1.
That was a close pitch, but just missing outside.
The Ball State Cardinal taking his time on the mound. The Pierce Junior College pitcher taking his time. The Oaks have only thrown junior college arms today, and they have done an incredible job.
Unbelievable story.
The 1-0 pitch. Slider in there, strike 1. The Oaks fans like it. Angus Denton, the sidearmer, still warming up. So the Oaks hope it doesn't come to that. The Riptide, though, they hope it comes to that. They want to get everything they can out of this inning. The 1-1 fouled out, and that is strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on second. Nick Ringcover is 1 strike away from leading the Oaks to a championship. Everybody ready. The Oaks fans on their feet. The Riptide fans willing their team to get back into it. The 1-2 delivery. Fouled backwards on a high slider, and we'll do it again.
Ringcover fighting his heart out on the mound. Fastball, slider, everything's effective, but not effective enough because the Riptide just keep fighting pitches off.
Ringcover once again ahead in the count. This is his moment. 1-2 situation again, the southpaw. Toes the rubber, rocks and fires the 1-2. It's up the middle into center field. Rounding third, being waved on home, and scoring is Josh Nikoloff, and that is a clutch RBI single by Aaron Simpson. It cuts the lead at 6-2, and we'll see here if Ringcover gets another one, or if Solis will put in Angus Denton. Dave Solis is striding out to the mound. He make the call. It doesn't look like it. Runner on first. 1 around, 2 outs, and things are getting tense here in Thousand Oaks.
Hold on to your hats, folks. The Riptide, they've shown an ability throughout the year, particularly yesterday, to strike at any moment. And they're making some noise right here. And they're going to take ring cover out.
Here comes Angus Denton. And folks, Angus Denton has ended 9 games this season for the Oaks by way of strikeouts. He is a special pitcher, and he is going to try to give his team the victory here. Runner on first, 1 around in the inning, 2 outs. The conclusion to the CCL championship when we come back. It's 6-2. Don't go anywhere. Angus Denton has been called upon here with 2 outs and a runner on first to close the door on the season. He's from the University of Arkansas. He has 16 appearances and a 1.14 ERA in 24 innings pitched. Only 5 walks to 22 strikeouts. The first delivery fouled off for strike 1. Steve Curry's the batter. He's 2 for 4, a pair of singles, a run scored, and 2 flyouts. Runner on first and Aaron Simpson. 1 run around and 2 outs. Denton, he had a 3-pitch strikeout to close out the game yesterday for the Oaks. He'll look to do it again. The 0-1, a slider, just missing low. That's ball 1.
Angus Denton embodies the personality of a closer. That's why we call him Angry Angus.
He's an Oaks returner. The 1-1. Called a strike on the inside corner, and that's strike 2. Look for that outside slider right here with the batter protecting. That's the go-to pitch. That is the batter killer right here. And Angus Denton will channel it, I can almost guarantee you. Here we go, 1 strike away. Denton delivers, slider, over to Shaken at short. The second hop over to first, it's in time! And the Conejo Oaks are the 2018 CCL champions. The first time in 12 years for this team, and they have done it. An improbable run. They clinched the playoffs. They beat the Foresters, and the number 4 seed downs the number 2 seed to take home the trophy.
What a year it's been. It started off a little bit shaky. The Oaks, they were not playing their best baseball at the beginning of the year. Then guess what happened? Chase Cockrell showed up. Jordan McFarland showed up. Brandon Lewis turned himself into an MVP candidate, and the pitching staff came together. It was a magical ride, and you just can't help but feel really happy for Coach Solis, who dedicates so much time to this team, to all these players. What a moment at Sparky Anderson
Dave
Field.
Solis, 11 years on this team, and he gets his first trophy, much deserved. He has been incredible. On the other side of the Riptide, you have to tip your hats to them. They were so special all season long. A team with low expectations coming into the season, a new coach, a brand new team, and they answered the bell. They deserve a tip of the cap. They deserve a standing ovation. They put the fireworks towards the end of the CCL season for the Riptide in Fullerton. And right here, they made it a ball game. They made it fun. But at the end of the day, the Conejo Oaks are the reigning champions.
How about Jerry Ramirez today? the story of this guy at the beginning of the summer. He was a middle relief pitcher for the Conejo Oaks. He's come on very strong recently. He had an unreal start today, shutting down a magical Riptide team. And then it was Vergara and Rincover, the two lefties, bringing it home. Great pitching, enough hitting. Wow.
We're going to take a short break. Here's how postgame is going to work. There's a trophy presentation, an all-tournament team presentation. But first, we have to video. Coach Solis is about to get water dumped on him, folks. Michael Spears, Sam Shakin, they're all there. They're holding the bucket, and they're bringing it over. We're going to not step aside just yet. Here comes the spill, and it's all over Brian Wilson. We're going to take a break. Trophy presentation, the all-tournament team, and the MVP presentation. We come back. I will not be on the mic. Jordan Brenner and I are headed to the field for post-game interviews live on Twitter. But Sean McKinnon, our producer, will be on the mic commentating everything you need to know for the trophy presentation. We'll be right back. The CCL champions, the Conejo Oaks, right here at Sparky Anderson Field. They win 6-2.
Well, folks, in stunning fashion, the Conejo Oaks have won their first CCL League title. Commissioner Pat Burns has just presented the trophy to the team, and now they're gathering for a commemorative picture. With trophy hoisted high above the team. All Oaks fans watching here at home and from your computers at your homes are proud of what this team has accomplished. A spectacular performance across the board. The trophy being passed around. Dave Solis holding what's taken him so long to get, but finally, him and this Oaks team has achieved it. And although this is just a summer development league, there are smiles across the board. There's hugging, there's rejoice. These players, although, like I said, it's just a development league, they work hard all summer. They're practicing in the heat. They're doing long road trips. They're putting in the work at practice. This is something they worked for. And as you can see, they're so glad they've achieved it. As you may see in your bottom right screen, there's a post-game interview being conducted by Jonathan Rifkind. Jordan Brenner filming it. You can see that live on Periscope on the Oaks Twitter. But we're happy to have you here on YouTube as well. In improbable fashion, the Conejo Oaks defeat the Orange County Riptide 6-2 in stunning fashion. They defeated the number 1 seed Santa Barbara Foresters to make it here. Perhaps the top summer collegiate team in the country. And they've proven themselves here today that not only could they beat what has seemed to be the top summer league in the country, they could win the championship against the Orange County Riptide. Andrew Lucas being interviewed now. Bart West and Sam Shaken fist bumping in the distance. And we can see Dylan Francis standing next to his father, Jeffrey Francis, getting a photo opportunity with the trophy. Folks, we thank you for sticking with us all season long. It's been a great experience here broadcasting, producing, post-game interviews. A big shout out to our social media manager, Tony Ty, he takes the photographs, he does the Twitter updates. He's always on top of it and doing a great job. Angus Denton and Jordan McFarland getting a picture opportunity together. Fellow Arkansas Razorbacks. They just came from the College World Series only about a month ago. And here they are, playing in another championship game and coming out victorious. All season long, we've had little kids getting balls signed from the Oaks players. They see these baseball stars, and they see what maybe they could be one day. And, of course, our Oaks players are happy to oblige. We see Dylan Francis giving out signatures here. Francis crucial in the defeat of the Foresters yesterday and taking the Oaks to the championship game. Friends and family have flooded the field. And like I've said, it's smiles all around. Like I said, you can view post-game interviews live on Periscope via the Oaks Twitter page. Alexander, Francis, I think that's Appleby and Wright posing in front of the trophy. The Oaks started off their season win-loss, win-loss, win-loss over and over. They were stuck at 500. And then they burst out into an over 10-game win streak. It was ended eventually. They fought to get into the playoffs. They made it by the skin of their teeth, but they made it rightfully so. They scrape past the Foresters, and then they take care in the championship game against the Riptide. The Oaks players have improved this summer. They've gotten better as people and as ball players. We've seen them improve for their respective colleges, improve their stats, get new college offers. Another photo opportunity. Looks like Tanner Wright, Holcomb. That might be Ramirez. And I'm having trouble recognizing all the players. But the point is, every Oak is happy right now. They've created friendships over these past 2 months. Us on the intern team have gotten to know these players personally. We've had a great time. Whether it's spending 7 hours on the road in one day or waking up early to be here back at Cal Lutheran, we've enjoyed every minute of it. Kamenko, Wright, and Lucas getting a picture, and then Kamenko by himself. These players come from around the nation. They come from different colleges, whether it's the South, Midwest, here on the West Coast, the Northeast. These players come from all over. They meet and they execute baseball in just 2 months. They come together, and I'm getting away from my fellow interns. You can see Tony Ty in the deep far left, Jacob Plack with the backwards hat. He's been our statistician all year long, tracking every single pitch, tracking what kind of pitch it was, the amount of pitches. Jonathan Rifkind, our lead broadcaster. Jordan Brenner, our color broadcaster. Jordan will be a sophomore at the University of Oregon. Jonathan a senior. And there's Jordan getting his picture with the trophy. Although we weren't on the field, we were there with our hearts. Jonathan Rifkind hoisting the trophy above his head. He couldn't be prouder. He's been with the Oaks. I think this is his 3rd season. And he's been waiting for that trophy as well. Still smiles, still hugs, you can see from the Conejo Oaks. This is the end of the line for them. They may come back next summer. Some players could get drafted or whatnot. But this is where their season ends. But boy, is it a good way for it to end. Again, the Conejo Oaks beating the Orange County Riptide 6-2. Holding off a bottom of the 9th inning. They were holding off a bottom of the 9th inning effort made by the Riptide to come back. Angus Denton closing out the game. And as you can see, the Conejo Oaks, each individual player makes his way over by the bullpen for a final Conejo Oaks Summer 2008 meeting. We appreciate you all watching here. And that'll just have to about to do it for us. We thank you for tuning in. Conejo Oaks, your victorious CCL 2018 champions. They defeat the Orange County Riptide 6-2. My name is Sean McKinnon. Thank you to our producers, thank you to our broadcasters, Jonathan Rifkin, Jordan Brenner, social media, Tony Ty, Jacob Plack, Rebecca, our team and event coordinator. That'll have to do it for us. Conejo Oaks, your 2018 CCL championships. Thank you, and have a wonderful summer.